Hey, welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm Brea Thorne. How's it going? I forgot to put my preview over here again. There we go. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Sorry about missing Sundays. Has had some stuff going on. But things are looking up. Things are getting better. So here I am. What's up, Wolfcross? How's it going? Over in YouTube chat, what's going on, Sailor X? I'll get to that in a second. What's up, Steve? Dave Odell, welcome. Michael Superbacker, how you doing? How you been? Alice, welcome. So Sailor X early, well, about 15 minutes before stream said, "Hey Bray, do you think Microsoft realizes they're making a ton of people mad at them by forcing people on certain PCs to upgrade to Windows 11? Some business owners I know are pissed." Don't know what to tell you, but it's a tale as old as time. I've been in I was in IT quite a while ago. I was there to watch, Windows XP die. I witnessed the death of Windows 7. I witnessed the death. It's Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the world. They call the shots. There are plenty of PCs out there that are just offline and probably running Windows 98 for like some old CNC machine or something like that, But if you want to be on the network, if you want to be secure, and you just keep up, it is not up to it. Windows's job is to continue being Microsoft's job is to continue making Windows. That's their job, and they can only support it for so long. It's funny, as a souvenir, I actually have, I think, a stack of like 90 Windows XP licenses in the folders, like the enterprise licenses that were just from my old IT department that shut down when that company sold. Now, not IT company, but IT department shut down when the company that it was part of sold to another company, and they were like, "Yeah, we have remote IT. You can join that if you want and move to Arizona." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to do that." So, yeah, that's it. And there's a term in IT that has always stuck with me. And it's primarily to do with operating systems, but it kind of translates to other stuff, and it's called feature creep. And the way it was defined in my in one of my intro IT courses was the inability to constrain change. Feature creep. Well, I mean, that's what it is. Whenever you're like, why doesn't Windows 11 look like Windows 10? Because it's one more Windows, I guess. But then again, people just go and make it look like Windows 10. That's what you do. It's part of the cost of doing business. Or if those business owners are pissed, they can maybe try an abacus, I guess, for their accounting. But that's just part of doing it. That's part of doing business. The cost of doing business. I'm not happy about it, and I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. It's just reality. I'm sure business owners are pissed every time they have to pay taxes. But that's the reality of it, right? Warrior Sailor, good evening. No worries, life happens. It does, yes. Wolfcross says, "What's wrong with Windows 11?" It's not that, Wolfcross. It's just that a lot of here's one thing about business, and let me talk about this on the side of business, okay? A lot of businesses will use older software, and that older software sometimes is from companies that might even no longer exist. Who is there to update it for the new operating systems? Nobody. That's why like Windows 11 had sort of like emulation of Windows 10. Is that right? I mean, I don't even know. It's been a while since Windows 11 came out. But basically, it's like some stuff is supposed to just work, and some stuff is not going to work. So that means some businesses have to go out and spend tens of thousands of dollars getting new software suites. Oops. The thing about it is, though, Windows is not doing anything specific to one company to hurt one company. They're a little bit too big for that. Microsoft is just too big for that. They are an unstoppable force, and businesses can try to be an immovable object, but they're gonna get moved. You know what I mean? It's there's nothing happy about it. It's just kind of the reality of using computers. Stuff changes, and you cannot change. You cannot change the fact that things change. Feature creep. The inability to constrain change. Warrior Sailor says Windows 3. Okay. Good evening, Brett. How's it going, Crash? Hope your mom's doing well. She's on the mend. She is on the mend. Michael Sanders, I witnessed the debacle of Windows ME. Oh God, yeah. Yep. Worst OS ever. It was hell dealing with that at work at the time. Yep. Windows XP was so good though. Windows XP. Man, I knew that operating system inside out. That was like when I really was getting like into IT. All of the systems were on Windows XP, and so those were like my formative IT years, right? And then it was like, okay, but like, you know, got to keep moving, got to change. Yeah. It is a pain in the butt though. And when I say that there are systems that don't work on newer OSs, I mean, I'm talking about stuff like you go to a gas station. Do you know how much software is there? Like how expensive the software is to run those fuel pumps? Man, I don't know if Gilbarco's still around, but they were making bank. Good Lord. Is magic mic time? Is this? It's not magic. It's just it's metal and electronics and stuff. But yes, it is time. Brad, I just did my first semester of IT. Is there any advice you would give me for progression wise? Virtue, it's been so long since I went to college for IT. I could not tell you what they're teaching these days. It changes so much from year to year. But the main thing is there's going to be a course at some point, if it's a good program that you're in, where it's an internship thing. Pay attention to that. And if you can choose where you intern at, where you get your internship at, then be very picky. See if it's a place where you might want to continue working, because that is one of the best foots in the door you can get. Foot. One of the best. It's one of the best ways to get your foot in the door. There we go. English. Words are hard. Lightning Evo question: can I submit a form to help get help to get a friend a PC? They don't have the same time zone as you and can't catch the streams. If their time zone is that different, I mean, what time zone are we talking here? I mean, if it's Eastern, it's only like 9 o'clock usually when I start. So is it going to be difficult? Like, are they in the UK? What's the deal? Because I need to know if I can help them in general at all. Nothing wrong with Windows 11. It's the having to upgrade hardware to support it that makes people mad. And it's also just like, well, yeah, also whether your PC can run Windows 11, blah, blah, blah. That was not as much of a thing before until Windows 11, whether your PC could run the operating system. Yeah, operating systems used to be a kind of, well, I wouldn't say lean, but by today's standards, they were like nothing in terms of storage space. And then difficulty to run it, how many things are running in the background. Windows 11 is hungry. It's a hungry operating system. Back in my old CAD days, I really loved Windows XP. Yeah, it was just, it's to me, seriously, the goated operating system. It was so clean. It didn't try to do everything. It just, hey, run your programs here. Get on the internet. There you go. Okay. That was it. Little update. The PC is at the burn-in stage. Very cool. Congratulations. That's exciting. What's up, Ed G? How's it going? Welcome. And Robert Fixit, welcome as well. Lightning Evo, glad to see you. And Virtue, also, welcome. And Michael Sanders, welcome in. The dentist who made my tooth implant, his PC has Windows 7. It works fine. Now, the thing about it is Microsoft will work with, at least if this hasn't changed anyway, they'll work with certain providers of critical softwares like medical software suites and things like that. The medical industry is not small and has a little bit of influence. So some of the biggest software companies out there, some of the biggest companies out there that are providing medical software, things like that, they can work with Microsoft to continue support for their software, basically. But honestly, they should just, I mean, yeah, I've done third-party IT for dental offices and for some offices like that, and they'll be on pretty old systems. Yeah. You think about how big the medical industry is, how many office PCs there are there. And I mean, yeah, it's so but at a certain point, Microsoft has to be like, hey, you need, so basically either that, I mean, Windows 7, if they don't have that on the internet, only on an intranet, meaning only a local network, then they're fine. And they can run Windows 7 usually with no risk. But generally, there'll be a computer on that network that has access to the internet, and that can be a vulnerability. It depends, honestly. They might have that on it might be a separate local intranet, and then a separate network that gets to the WAN, or the wide area network. That's what your internet is called. It goes out to the internet. That's the WAN. Anyways, man, I miss network stuff, but also I don't. Australia, I see. Yeah, that wouldn't really work with my schedule, would it? I had a friend from Australia. We never spoke because of that. Or rarely spoke. Windows XP and Windows XP plus AOL, best times of my life. I would take that, but with modern internet speeds, and I'd be happy. I was talking about burn-in. I got an OLED for $550 brand new. That's an interesting way to introduce that. Well, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, the tooth scanner machine isn't online. Exactly. Sachin4, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the Swarm. Thank you for that. I finally gave in. Welcome. How are you? Braxton, welcome in. Glad to have you. This does 3D model of the tooth. And no, it won't play Fortnite. Thank goodness. Oh, Robert Fixit said earlier, just wait till they stop selling gas cars, how pissed people will be. I guess. I mean, think about this. There's plenty of cars that aren't for sale anymore, but they're still on the road. Regardless of whenever they decide they're going to, whenever, you know, the EU or, and eventually, I guess, the states follow along with that and decide to stop selling gas cars, which good luck with that, because lobbying in the US, the big three are not really going to stand for that as long as they can, unless they fully switch to EVs, which some of them have committed to that. Okay. Right. When that happens, what is going to happen to all the gas powered vehicles? They ain't going anywhere. Well, I mean, they're going to go places because they're still on the road. It's not going to be banning fuel vehicles. They might be banning the sale of future development and sale of ICE vehicles, right? But you'll still be able to buy classic cars. You'll still be able to buy the cars that are coming out in the next few years will still be out there as used vehicles. So that's kind of the thing. Fuel is still going to be a thing. And this is not me for or against either or, okay? This is just me saying what the reality is. You can ban the sale of you can ban the sale of new internal combustion engine vehicles, but people are still going to sell their old vehicles. They're still going to have vehicles on the road. Mechanics are still going to have their jobs because people are going to have millions and millions of cars out there still that are going to need service and fuel. So I don't think that's going to be as drastic and scary as everybody thinks it is. I mean, look, I love me a turbo stick shift 6-speed. That's what I drive right now, and I love it. Okay, but like, I also love living on this planet. It's not black or white. There's a gray place right in the middle where we all need to kind of settle and be like, like we should probably take care of this. We should take care of this. I'm not gonna guilt trip anybody who's gonna go get a big V8 or anything, but like, in the big picture, we do need to sort of fix stuff. I mean, and the thing is, we can fix things. Back when coal mining was a major thing, so was acid rain. Like, there was a real fear that acid rain was going to be a major problem, and it became an actual problem in very heavily coal mined areas. And now that that's died down, so has the acid rain that everybody worried about in like the 80s and early 90s or whenever. When you make good changes, things can get fixed, but we do need to be a little quick about it. Coggle, what's up? I already said hi, I think, but hi. Unless I didn't. That would be so wrong. EV is fine, just don't tell me what we can build. Earth is just fine. Braxton, I'm afraid that's untrue according to actual scientists that are smarter than you and I. If you decide that you'd like to, and this is with all due respect, my friend, okay? But when you're going to make blanket statements, perhaps get a degree first in science, in earth sciences, and in I guess, I don't know what science it even takes to be an authority on what's happening to the environment, but I am not that. And I listen to those people because they did their thing and got the little, their doctorates and masters and all that stuff. And I don't have that. And here's the thing. You already have some of the big three committing to only selling EVs in a certain number of years. It's going to happen. It was always going to happen. Until we can get a Mr. Fusion on the back of our DeLorean, we're going to have to drive EV. Well, I mean, the thing is, as I said, you don't have to drive an EV. There's still going to be gas cars out there, plenty of them, and very good and modern and new ones, okay? But at a certain point, we have to stop making those. But there's going to be still tens of millions of them out there for you to buy and enjoy. Like I said, it's not scary unless you make it scary. It's not. Let's be real. You can go buy, you have thousands of choices of cars to buy right now, and that ain't changing. I mean, in used cars, they're out there. I mean, it's not even that smart to buy a new car anyway. You lose a lot of the value right off the bat. So we're going to be forced to buy a year-old used, Mustang or whatever the hell car you want, or truck, big old Ma truck. Yeah, look at Ma truck. You'll be able to buy that. It'll be out there. They'll be, in fact, the one you have might be worth a lot in the future. Cool, right? It's not anything to get worked up over. It's not anything to get angry over. You know what it is? Feature creep. The inability to constrain change. Like I said, an IT term that applies to a lot of things. Bone Shock. Sorry I'm getting on late. How's your mom doing? She's on the mend. She's doing better. Only because they were forced to in order to get tax incentives, they have to build so many EV. Whatever the reason is, we can't say Earth is just fine. You just need to look at the overall climate change, which is happening. Like whenever it's like winter and it's like the coldest winter and people are like, well, yeah, what about global warming? No. Stop with global warming. It is climate change, extreme climate change causing extreme climate conditions. We've had the hottest summers and the coldest winters in history recently. That ain't no coinky-dink. It's real stuff. Like, I'm not sharing an opinion here. This is documented. And the cool thing about scientists is if you can prove them wrong, they'll be like, oh, we were wrong. But people who aren't scientists don't care if you can prove them wrong. What the hell? That's not a fair way to play that. If you have actual scientific proof that climate change is a hoax and show that to scientists, and they can repeat that. They can validate your test results of your experimentation with good baseline, good experiment, good methodology, and documentation, and they can repeat that. They'll be like, hey, we were wrong. That's great. Everybody buy, gas guzzling cars. Let's go. No, unfortunately, it is a problem. And the thing is, we should all have that attitude. If you can prove me wrong, I will change my mind. But the problem is, people can just say stuff. Very, very influential people can just say words. Isn't that funny how words work? You can string them together however you like, and you don't even have to prove that those words have any meaning. And people will eat it up. And there's two reasons for that, okay? It's going to be one of two reasons. God, can't believe I'm quoting Terry freaking Goodkind. But people will believe a lie either because they want it to be true or they're afraid it's true. One of those two reasons. Which one would this fall under for you? You have to start looking at motive, right? Why would someone tell, if scientists are saying that climate change is happening, it is bad, it is very bad, and we have only a certain amount of time to fix it. Don't worry, we'll get to computers soon. Yet there's other people who are saying it's not true, who aren't scientists. They're politicians or news people or on some network or whatever. What reason would they have to disagree? Is there a vested interest for them? Oh, they have stocks. They have stocks in oil companies. Okay, that can't have anything to do with it. There's no way. There's no way that would have anything to do with them saying, no, climate change is a hoax. Buy your gas cars and go outside, get cans of, hairspray, spray them around. Everything's fine. Tinfoil hat time, yes, but no, it's the people who are speaking out against climate change have a vested interest in companies that make money off of things that cause damage to the environment. They make money off of that, and they don't want to stop making money off of that. So my suggestion is this: next time you hear someone who is a big influential figure saying that climate change isn't real, start following the lines there. Start following, where is that coming from? Who is this person? Do they work for a network? Okay, cool. Who is that network affiliated with? Are they a politician? Okay, we're probably never going to find out who's lobbying to them or or what their stock portfolio is. But why speak out against science? It got us to where we are today in terms of advancement, in terms of communication, in terms of our legacy, our connection with each other, everything that we have now. Mostly convenience is what we're after, right? But then you're like, okay, science, thanks for that, but I don't trust you when I don't want to. I don't believe you when I don't want to, science. Braxton, science got you the thing that you're talking to me on right now. Some of those very same scientists developed the technology for that. But when they say something you don't agree with, it's like, well, now I don't trust you anymore. Speaking in, talking into the internet, which was developed by, well, actually military first, but then engineers and whatever. Okay, yeah, making batteries sucks. It does. Making batteries can be harmful for the environment. But it is okay. It's you can't just say hey, because of this one thing, none of it is valid. Oh, but where does the electricity come from? Actually, a lot of it is becoming renewable electricity, windmill, solar, things like that. And that needs to not be constrained as much as it has been, because there's been lobbying to keep that from being a thing, but that didn't work. That failed. And now solar energy is cheaper than ever to put onto your house. Here in Texas, there's windmills all over the place, wind farms all over the place. In Texas. Whoa, what? Yeah. That's the thing. It's not going to be perfect right off the bat. It could have been by now. There were electric cars many decades ago that were trying to be developed. Who stopped that? We would have been to a point where it was equilibrium now. But nope, battery technology wasn't really there yet, but it could have been developed even faster. When there's money involved, development seems to accelerate. Isn't that interesting? .420 Band says, hey there, Buster. How's it going? Netbanger100, sup, Bowd? What's up? 420 Bands. I don't know that I don't know. I can't really validate that. How do we get on the climate topic? I don't actually remember. Yeah. All right, let me look at, wow, YouTube has been going off about this. Okay. I like talking about this stuff. Here's the thing. I love discussing things when people are willing to listen. When people aren't, it's a little bit less fun. There's here's the thing. You might not agree with me, and that's okay. I'm telling you, listen to this. If you listen to anything I say, listen to this. It's okay if you don't agree with me. I don't need you to. I don't need you to agree with me to validate my beliefs. And you shouldn't need me to believe you to validate your beliefs or to agree with you. It is good to listen. It is good to take things in and process them yourself. Live your own truth, all that stuff. But there are some things that are really inarguable. And that's what I try to present usually, but then opinions do creep in there. But here's the thing. If you don't agree with me, I'm okay with that. It's when people discuss, when people who disagree with each other discuss in a respectful way, that's how we all learn. That's how we advance. And if you feel like you can't watch my stuff or hang out in my chat if you don't agree with me, I will respectfully disagree. But it's okay if you're that type of person where you feel like, you know what, I don't want to be part of this community. I don't agree with what the guy says. That's okay. Also, whatever you choose for yourself, as long as you're not out there hurting other people or whatever, or infringing on other people's freedoms, live your life. I support that. This is not me being facetious. I seriously do. This is a free country. You're free to believe what you will. I feel like those in charge don't quite have that luxury as much because they have a responsibility to us to, for the future. They do. So they do need to sort of elevate their own things above the concerns of the almighty dollar. But when it comes to us, we should disagree on stuff. We should learn from each other. We should be able to discuss things, and yeah. It's a little difficult here because I'm the one who can talk and you guys have to type. That's not quite equal. I apologize for that. It is the nature of streaming. But I want you to know, if you disagree with me, you're still welcome here. Now and always, unless you start making others unwelcome. Once you do that, you're no longer welcome here. Funny how that works. But as long as that's not what's going on, I'm okay with it. Let's disagree on everything. Let's do it. Electric 6-speed manual would be fun, says Robert Fixit. I don't see how that would function, but yeah. Yo, okay. Well, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Braxton1823, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Let's go, nerds. That is a tier 1 sub for Great Majir, Majin Edboy, Rurutu, Electrothermal, and Crash. Hey, Crash, there you go. Welcome to the Swarm. Why is it not showing of things. Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I'll take that as a thumbs up. We disagree, but I like to debate, and that's fair. This is why two adults generally can't have a reasonable conversation. People think their opinions are facts, and that's simply not true. Couldn't agree more, Bray. Thank you, Tommy Snaps. Appreciate that. Glad to have you here. Electrothermal, the irony, says Dodger Dog. Absolutely. Dodger Dog says, let's never talk politics law. See, I don't think it's that. Like, I don't want. When someone comes in like that dude did before, where they were coming in immediately incendiary with their discussion, that's not how you do things here. That's not how I want things to happen here. But if you come in and say, "Hey, I feel like if we haven't started yet, we haven't started on the list yet. We are going to. Don't worry." Okay. We haven't started on the list yet, but I don't mind talking about a little bit about politics. It's a bit risky for me sometimes because it's pretty easy to get canceled out there. But the fact that I welcome all, I hope will keep me from being canceled at some point. Because if you know that I'm okay with you disagreeing with me and you're still welcome here, I hope you'll feel the same with me. That's how I feel about it. Oil industry have god tier money and lobbying. Gas cards will be made for decades. Well, there are commitments otherwise, but we'll see. Gary Clinky says hi. Hello, Gary Clinky. Robert Fixit, 2035, you'll see junkyards full of old Teslas with bad batteries. I mean, that's the thing. We're still in the very early days of common EVs, and we can point at them and laugh all we want, Robert. And you're probably doing that in jest, and I get that. But the tech is going to only get better. And one thing none of y'all can convince me of, I will say this. You can't convince me that they're not fast. We could talk about, self-driving and stuff and how that's not there yet and all that. But what's going to happen is battery recycling is going to get better. Swapping batteries is going to get better. All that stuff is going to get better because we're finally investing in it. It should have been invested in decades ago. We could already be done. Think about this. If you pick up the guitar and you go to your first lesson, what if you could just say, I'm going to go back in time and start practicing 10 years ago, and I'm already done, and now I can play really well. Imagine if we could do that with our EV technology, right? I have a 10-year-old Civic that I hope to get another 10 years out of, says Ed G. You probably will. You probably will. And here's the thing, guys. Listen to this. Just because car manufacturers might have to stop manufacturing new ICE vehicles, that doesn't mean that they have to stop manufacturing the engines for those cars that they already have on the road to keep them on the road. There's car companies out there. Do you guys watch Big Time? Which, a couple guys split off a donut, make Big Time. There's companies making full, carpets for cars that are 30 years old or older, just so you can get one and restore it, replace the carpet. Super cool. Super cool. Rurutu says, here's my political take. Free Reign is better than Cowboy Bebop. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Actually, I can't speak on that. I haven't seen Free Reign yet. Dapper Black Guy says, hey, I've been watching your videos on YouTube and they've been very informative. Glad to catch you live for the first time. Glad that you caught me live for the first time. Welcome. But yeah, I mean, I have not driven an EV, but I have ridden in EVs, and good Lord, it is actually kind of super fun. What, a hype chest? What is this hype chest? Frog Ponder emote. That looks terrible, Twitch. What are you doing? Anyway. Oh, yes, this is a Cowboy Bebop shirt. Yes, Lightning Evo. Of course it is. Now I know why Cowboy Bebop was brought up. I forgot. Oh, wait, in 2035, we'll use an Xbox controller to drive like Men in Black. I think Do they do that? I don't know. Where to drive drones with Xbox controllers and deadly unmanned... I mean, yeah. Sustainable energy at viable levels is a long way off, but we're working on it now, which is what's important. Hey, Brady, do you think the market is flooded with too many gaming handhelds? Yes. But most people don't pay attention to those. Like the ones that you see too many, where they're coming out with new ones all the time. And then you have like other brands coming in with them. CES, they were all over the place, and I was ignoring them. All good with me from across the pond. Good to hear these words, Bray. We're on point. Thank you, Steve. We're all nerds on here. That's true. The thing about being here, when I say let's go nerds, right? Like, that's me. If you don't feel like you're a nerd, yes, you are, because you're here. We're talking about nerdy stuff, but nerds, geeks, kind of, there's one commonality between those two terms, and that's sort of a passion for the subject matter. And we get passionate about the things that we're into, and that's when passionate disagreements can happen. Nerds! I need to have that as a redeem thing. I'm good with my Steam Deck because that's where my library is at anyway. Well, now they're going to have Steam OS for ROG Allies. Ruchu says China is doing EV correctly, but they had a massive buildup on their electric grid. Right. It's usually supposed to start there, but oh well. I knew I was going to get hungry, so I made a little charcuterie here for myself. It amazes me that they still build handhelds that are generally too expensive when mobile gaming is a big thing, not handheld devices. Tommy, I would respectfully disagree with you on that. The Switch, not the Steam Deck, but the Switch made mobile consoles a thing. And then handheld computers with, Steam Deck, ROG Ally, and to a lesser extent, Lenovo Legion Go and devices like that. And that's something that I think should also get better. I talked to Asus about with the Ally X, maybe the Ally 2 or whatever it's going to be, doing a video of a setup running just off of that. I think that'd be super cool. But you know who did that already? Wolf Den already did it. Thanks, Bob. And it was with the Lenovo Legion Go. What's up, Kenneth? How's it going? Look up the documentary, Who Killed the Electric Car? I think I might have seen that. There was a PS2 controller in Men in Black 2. I got the references, Crash. Oh, okay. I don't know how those gaming handhelds are profitable. Nintendo and Steam has a way to sell software, but Asus, MSI doesn't have that on other revenue stream. Could be subsidized, Rutu. Could be subsidized by, by Microsoft, by Intel, by AMD, whoever, be it the hardware or software source. But also companies like Asus and MSI make a lot of money elsewhere, and they want to compete. So, yo, what's up, Igor? Coming in with 2 tier 1 subs, gifted to the community. Thank you for that. Let's go, nerds. That's a tier 1 sub for Silent Furies and Mythos Web. What's up, Igor? How's it going? Wolf Cross tells me I still have my PS Vita. Actually preferred it to the Switch, but now the Switch has a huge library and non-stop sales. Yep. I consider the Switch a console as well, though. So do I. It is a console. That's why I said. That's why I made a differentiation between handheld consoles and handheld computers, handheld PC, portable PCs. Charcuterie board, nice. What's up, Medic? I hope you're doing well. Gas prices are insane too. Almost $5 USD here. Wow. Yeah. Advertisers are oil executives. These were old YouTube chats. I'm sorry I missed that, guys. The only people who are always right are the commenters on YouTube videos. Well, I guess that's your sign. Get people in YouTube chat. Go make comments. Go put comments in there. And like the stream while you're at it. I mean, why not? Civics last forever so long as you do basic maintenance. You know what's funny? So do German cars. Like, I've seen this where, well, the thing about a Civic is, or a Toyota, you could just kind of like let it go and it'll still run. But if you have like a BMW, if you're not doing your maintenance, it's going to have problems. But if you do your maintenance, it can last a really long time. Like a really long time. And Bray, hope your mom is good. She is on the mend. She is doing better. Which is why I'm here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, probably. Solsden says, hey, Braythorn, don't know if you remember me from 2 weeks ago when I asked for a Falcon Northwest pre-built help. Now 9950X is out. Do you think I should go for that instead of a 7950X 3D? I'd have to look at your form again. But we can't have nice things. And you can't have a CPU launch without some caveats. Currently, as far as I know, I actually have to check in with Kelt, but I think that they were behind on their shipment of receiving 9950Xs. We'll have to see, because they're supposed to send me a system with one, hopefully. Sorry, I hope I'm not spoiling that, Kelt. My bad. BMWs are a nightmare to work on, says Lightning Evo. True. I mean, a lot of modern cars are a nightmare to work on, to be fair and balanced and fair. I thought the Sony car would use a controller. It works for Gran Turismo. Tesla next. Well, they've already got the yoke. Let's build an electric PC, says Robert Fixit. I don't think so. Let's build an internal combustion engine PC. Question, is there any logic to your lighting in the background being set to certain colors like that blue you have? Well, actually what this is a mixture of electric indigo and cyan. It's a little bit washed out because it's on a white wall. If my walls were 30% gray, it would represent the color better. But anytime you splash color on a white wall, it's going to lighten it up some. I should probably adjust them for that. But what I do is this. I have the darker colors here and here, and the lighter cyan right behind my head to give me better separation from the background. What I'm using are the Govee floodlights. There's 4 floodlights, and I can control each individual one. They're just mounted to the ceiling, angled down. And I can just change them whenever I want. So darker colors on the outside and lighter color in the middle, just to separate me more from the background. It'd be better if I had the desk where it's supposed to be and not here, but like I'm going to be doing an unboxing stream soon anyway, so like why even bother? I'm just got to clean up in general. I even got a battery pack for extra playtime. Those were good gaming day. Oh, had a Game Gear back in the day. Wow, those things ate through batteries. That's right. Give me a 68 Charger over anything, says Jazzman. That's a wonderful selection. One of my favorite muscle cars of all time. What is up, Jazzman? Welcome to the show. Isn't that all that blue light bad for your sleep cycle? I'm not looking at it. You are though. Sorry. I'm looking at a bright white one right in front of my eyes. Speaking of which, that is our list here. So here's the deal, everybody. If you're here for PC help, you might not know what you need to do. So I'm about to tell you. Everybody in Twitch chat who's wanting some help, click that link that I just put up there. Fill out that form. And anybody in YouTube chat, check the description. Click the link there. Fill out the form. And we'll get to it. Now, I mentioned, the launch of 9000 series Ryzen. I actually have a video on that coming out soon. Okay, I recorded that. It's just me kind of ranting a whole lot. If you like rants, you're going to love that because we go into Intel and AMD. All right. It's basically Intel. Okay, it's AMD. What are you doing? And Intel, what have you done? It's a catch up on all the stuff that's been going on with Intel and then the launch of 9000 series. There you go. Benjamin Poposoy says, cars and computers, love it. So do I. Let's see if I can find this real quick. I think I've showed this to you guys before. But this was the best car I ever owned, my favorite car that I've owned of all time. Let me just show y'all real quick. Right there. That is the 80s distilled into car form. There's a 10th anniversary edition Mazda RX-7 FC Turbo. And the 10th anniversary edition, how many of those are made? I don't remember. It wasn't many. I think 2,500 of those were made. Oops, hold on a second. There we go. But yeah, I loved this thing. It was an excellent. Ignore the license plate bracket up there. I've got a new one for that. This was when I first got the car, and I sold this to a collector because I was putting too many miles on it. I was daily driving this sucker. One of the best handling car I have ever driven. Period. Do you guys know how close I was to getting Red Sun stickers? So freaking close. Anyway, let's talk about this. This is the form. This is when you fill out the form, information goes here, and we're going to be doing roll call here in a bit. So please fill out the form if you're looking for help. And there we are. We got Lightning Evo and Tommy Snaps. I will say already, Lightning Evo, we could have an issue, and it's like things are more expensive in Australia. It's expensive to get parts shipped there, all that kind of stuff. So they may have an issue. I don't know what the actual budget is, but we'll. Oh, it's a parts list. Huh. Yes, there is PC Part Picker Australia, so we'll go with that. So I'll need to know the budget, I guess, in Australian dollars. And Tommy Snaps is here. Very cool. So I'm going to give y'all a spoiler to the video where I talked about 9000 series Ryzen and Intel's issues, okay? A spoiler for this. Actually, I'm going to do something real quick. Give me a second. I'm going to see if this will work. Okay, weird. There we go. Now you can actually read what it says there. For better or for worse. That's a little off there. 1 second. All right, please stop snapping so much. There we go. Looks better. Okay. There was like a little line up there that was about, it was not quite in the corner. Oh, and a bunch of games announced today. True. Does anyone know if 2K Australia is helping with Borderlands 4? I don't know. I have a Plum Crazy Challenger collecting dust. DayZ, that sounds awesome. Man, what a great color. Doing great, Bray. Hope your day is just as great. Thank you. Honestly, the FC did handle better than the MA70. It drove like it was on rails. It was crazy. Robert Fix It. That's my generation. I'm a third gen super guy, so we're actually competitors. I see. Gotcha. I mean, they're both in a way Grand Tours anyway. Not really, I guess, with the FC. More so with the Supra. I think my saturation might be too high. Huh, thanks. You're welcome, I guess. I'll be able to watch that video for sure. But anyways, spoiler on the AMD and Intel video. The same thing that I ranted about, I guess, I think maybe on Thursday. I don't know if I'd found out yet. Core parking. Core parking on non-3D VCache chips. What the hell, AMD? What the hell? Like, I'm actually constantly internally raging over this. And here, I'll give you guys the reason. Whenever someone was going to be doing streaming and gaming and it was a high budget thing, and you know, especially if you want to do a really complex stream, lots of stuff running on in the background, things like that. But also like video editing, things like that. I'd recommend the 7950X over the 7950X 3D. What's the reason? Well, if you're streaming and you're running a ton of programs, all this stuff, and then you start a game and that becomes the focused on thing on your PC, half of your cores are shut off. Bye-bye. That's the 7950X 3D because of core parking. 7950X does not have that issue. Well, they took that away from me and us, all of us. Now, even without 3D VCache, you have core parking. Why? No discernible reason. They had the ball on the 1 yard line. Oh yeah, Intel set it up for a good spike right there, that's for sure. You are talking about volleyball, right? Just kidding. Lightning Evo, there's probably an adjustable screw there with like a hex key. Tighten that down once you have the angle that you want. You should still be able to adjust it, but you probably need to tighten that down. It's going to be at the joint where it can vertically pivot. Get yourself a Scat Pack Dodge Charger. You're talking about a modern one? Because no thanks. I mean, they're cool. They are cool, but not really my jam. Okay, so figure out your yeah, go ahead and fill out the form, guys, if you're wanting help here. If it's another short one, I'm cool with that. I haven't really been sleeping much. I have, actually, but it's... things are weird right now, man. I gotta tell you. Igor, 1993 Geostorm. There's a classic right there. I don't know if I'd fit in one of those these days. Man, what was it? What was it called? I think it was, they had in like the 90s, Mazda had an MX-6 hatchback that had the smallest 6-cylinder engine. And that thing was a riot, man. I had a friend who had one and it was fast. I've owned 4 of them. Nice. 67 Ford Galaxy, 65 Falcon, all classics. Trainman 1961, you are on the list. I see you right here. Okay. $700 Australian. Lightning Evo, that's really tough, but we'll see what we can do because it is a parts list. That does help that it's a parts list and not a pre-built. But I'll look at the thing and, you know, we'll see. Yep, that is really tough. I mean, let me see. What is... That is 472 US dollars. The price of a console or a used PC. I mean, you can probably there might be better off going on like Facebook Marketplace and looking for a used PC or something like that. But building a new one for 472, I'll try. But this is what I say, okay? That there's a certain point where it doesn't quite make sense to either buy a PC in general. If you're just going to game, you just get a console instead, because the experience between a console and an exact same price PC, unless you get lucky on the used market, it's never going to be equivalent. The gaming on a console is always going to be better, because that's all it does. But if you need it for more than that, then yeah, I get it. But this is just for gaming. So AMD GPU is listed as a thing. Okay. Maybe I'll throw him an extra $100 US. That's very generous of you. We'll see what we can do. That does make a solid difference, but especially at a budget like that, $100. I mean, that's adding in another 20% to the budget. But if you're that committed to it, so am I. The other side of the coin there was like, get a console or save up for longer, because it is an investment. There's certain things that are really, kind of a pain in the butt to swap out on your PC, and then you have extra parts for no reason. So, all that. But, it's good. It's good. Okay. Train Man, let's go ahead and get you taken care of first. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a budget listed at $1,500. Train Man, what is the actual maximum budget for the PC? If it's right at $1,500, please let me know. But if it's higher, also let me know. You're just doing gaming at 1080p. You can do 1440p with this budget, but yeah. And yes, you do want to be able to upgrade your CPU over time. It was going to be AMD anyway. Tommy Snaps, I'll remind you when you get to me, Braithorn, but I put white, which is preferred but not 100% needed. Also put Charlotte, but I'm about equal distance between Charlotte and both GA locations. I see. So you want Micro Center. Okay. Either way. $1,750 max. Okay. That's a solid difference. $250? That's a big difference. But yeah, you should probably be aiming for 1440p, to be honest. But it's not up to me. It's up to you. $1,750 for 1080p gaming. That is boutique territory. I like a lifetime warranty. Do you? Let me see. Let me see here. Where are the... Ah, here we go. I love that they have this. It's super clean, man. Anyway, AMD 7700 XT, 1658. And with AMD, you get a 7600X. Perfectly fine. For a gaming-only system at 1440p, you're all set with that. How much storage? 1 terabyte. However, when you're checking out with Alexander PCs at checkout, you can add more storage because Alexander PCs is awesome. So with this, you get a lifetime warranty. You get custom cable extensions in the color of your choice from their library. It's a sick-looking PC. Alexander PCs is one of the most highly rated SIs in our community, period. I like that dark gray case that Alexander has. Which one would that be? But yeah, also you're not with Alexander PCs. Say when you go with SkyTech, you might get in their pre-configured systems. You'll get like maybe a lower end motherboard, lower end RAM. You'll get a PCIe Gen 3 storage at this price, perhaps things like that. Now, if we were the thing about it is though, this is a boutique builder, so some of the money goes to that lifetime warranty. The shipping is also baked into the price. Which, by the way, would be $50 cheaper with my discount code. But if you go with SkyTech, you'll get higher-end primary components in terms of the spec, the model. So instead of a Ryzen 5 7600 and a 7700 XT, if we were to go with SkyTech, and we just shift our budget here. S550 Mustang says, can I add 3 8 gig sticks of memory to my desktop if all the same 5200 speeds? Mustang, you're better off just getting a new kit if it's DDR5. And it's not as pricey anymore as it used to be. Yeah, instead you could be looking at a 7800 XT and a 7700X with the Siege 4 for $1,500. But then instead of a lifetime warranty, you get a 1-year warranty. And the other parts aside from that are going to be different as well. This one has a 96. This is pre-order though. 9600X with a 7600 XT, but that's $1,499. But that's only because it's a 9600X. It's not as good as the one we just looked at. But no, that's not what I'm looking for here. What I'm looking at here is actually this one. Look at this. $7,800X3D and a 7800 XT. Ooh, they changed the look here. And they added the extended warranties to their pre-configured systems. SkyTech, y'all been busy, man. But yeah. Very different systems at this point. 7800X3D and a Radeon 7800 XT for $1,579. And then my discount also gets that price lowered with code SWARM. So Trainman, you should decide for yourself which one you prefer. If you like the idea of a lifetime warranty and you're only trying to game at 1080p here, you don't need a 7800 XT to do that. Trust me on that. Vaz22 says, no way. What? No way what? Lightning Evo says 7800 XT kicks ass. I have it in my build. All right. Just waiting on word from Train Man. Which one do you want me to link to you? Oh, $400 bill. Yeah, got you. Sometimes my chat is flying. Sometimes it's not as fast. So, yeah. Sagar says, hey, bro. Hey, Sagar. Sagar? Sagar? Cigar? Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Robert Fixes says, save money, no RGB. Yep, I know. Clay H, does it automatically add to the list after doing the form? Yes, it does. You might have seen your name on the stream. That's for pure gaming. That CPU may be overkill. Well, I mean, it is the best gaming CPU on the market, especially at 1080p. If you want to get into competitive gaming, having a really good CPU can be really important. See Clay H. You switched over to Twitch. No delay. You'll find there is still some delay because I'm streaming at 4K on both now. Let's see what this comes out to with the coupon code. You can actually spend that extra budget on a 2-year refundable extended warranty. I would probably do that. Why not, right? And using code SWARM goes from $15.79 before tax. Shipping is free, by the way, to $47.40 off, making it $1532.59 plus tax. There you go. All right, that's done. You know what I didn't do? I didn't mark mark the ones with everyone here in purple, and that just feels wrong. And now I have to mark it green anyway, but... Okay. All right, we got ourselves a little bit of a challenge here. So let's give this a shot. So $8.50 Australian to US dollars. Well, I don't need to do that. If it's $8.50 Australian, then we can just use the Australian builder. Oh, lordy, lordy. Ryzen 5 5600. I still have that where I bit my cheek before. I keep biting my freaking cheek, man. Doesn't feel good. Again, if you hear me talking weird, it's because of that. Or let me see something here. You do want to be able... Okay, so we're probably going all AMD here. Another option is going with an APU. But I'd rather not do that if I can avoid it, because it still straight up says AMD GPU. But if it's an AMD APU, it's got a GPU built into it from AMD. Yeah, I know, Dal. I know. So they said $8.50 Australian. Yeah. Anyway, there's always a 12100F. There you go, 12100F. Now that's the thing. This is $115, and it's a great CPU for gaming. And the only thing that was specified was, hey, give me a AMD GPU. 115 Australian right there. No AMD CPU was specified, and it did state here that they're interested in upgrading in the future, upgrading the CPU in the future. Yes. Well, guess what? You can do that, and the microcode has been updated. We'll see how it goes, but you should be good to get something like a 14400F or something like that, and go from a 4-core CPU to a, what is it? Is that a 10-core CPU? Just like that. Lightning Evo, you can do that through PayPal, things like that. I've never had a problem with it. Dell 721 in this price bracket, used parts will get used so far. They will. However, if someone wants to shop for used parts, they can do that. There is inherent risk involved, and I don't want to take on that risk myself when it comes to recommending something if it turns out to be a bad part. That looks bad on me, you know? Also, the person buying used parts needs to be familiar with the process of troubleshooting. And just because you can build a PC doesn't mean that you have a lot of experience in troubleshooting bad parts. $1,200F is looking real good here. I would like to point out the 3.5-star rating. On what? Oh, on... What's up, Short Game? How's it going? Is it safe to buy Intel now? Just wait for Arrow Lake. Oh, on the King 95. Okay. They don't get many reviews on their site. I would have to see the review if they wrote one. And if there's no written review, I'm not going to pay attention to it. The thing about it is, guys, you can pay attention to those, or you can go to the Discord and read up on SkyTech there from other community members. And it's pretty good. It is very good over there. It's okay. All right. Let's make this 12100F right here our choice at 115. It is the best deal here. Man, this prosciutto's good. Use the included cooler. No cooler needed. One in black. Yeah, okay. We'll still try to stick to full ATX. That's just a preference of mine. Damn, all right. Yeah, between these two, I'd go with the Gaming X for $4 any day of the week over the DS3H. And it has AX Wi-Fi. All right. But yeah, we are going to go DDR4. Okay. It's a tight budget. $16 gigs DDR4 3200, or do we go 3600? G-Skill, Ripjaws. Super solid. Let's get our capacity here. 2x8, we'll go 16 gigs. Cool thing about DDR4. Later on, if they want to do streaming and stuff, adding an identical kit, not a problem. Going 4 sticks of DDR4 has been solid for a long time. Yeah, Ripjaws 5, super solid. That seems a bit more. Remember, guys, this is Australian dollars, okay? This is less in US dollars. Probably like $40 or less. Evo, don't worry about it. We got this. One terabyte NV2. Damn, that's a good price. Remember, $84 Australian. RX 6600, we think. And that's one way to just say AMD. There you go. Gigabyte Eagle. Let's just do this. Here. There we go, $279. Or we can go with the Gigabyte one for $295, so it matches the motherboard. XFX, or I mean, it's $20. If we need the $20 for something else, we can come back and swap to it. I like to match, I'd like to match the card to the motherboard if I can. Okay. It's not a bad looking case. Comes with 3 RGB fans already there. Doesn't come with a rear fan, but that's okay. Low rating on that, but only 1 rating. And 5 stars on the white version. So, yeah. Just beware of that den of scum and villainy known as Reddit. At least that's what old Ben told me. Budget MATX is a nightmare in my experience. Yeah. Wonder how much the 5500X 3D will cost. More than the 12100F, that's for sure. I mean, you're looking at like $70 over here in US dollars for that CPU. Like that's, and the performance is good for gaming. Oh boy. Yeah, we're running it. Okay, so I'm going to have to swap this to the other card. That's no problem. Get us that $20 back. Remove this one. Okay, we have $50 for a power supply. What can I do here to change this? I don't know. Maybe change the storage? I don't want to do 512 storage. That's not enough storage for a modern system. Here's what I'm going to do. Evo, I'm going to get as close as I can, and they can try to save up the rest if they need to. But it's going to be a good system. I guess 650 watts is going to be plenty for this. But you can also have 750 as an option. Mag A850 bronze. Let's see how this thing does. Can you go to them, please? Thank you. Oh, look at that. The bronze power supplies are gold rated under low end, which is, this is a budget system. Perfect. It's like I knew I didn't. So we are $29 over. I think that's pretty damn good. What does this translate to? This system translates to in US dollars. $592. Yeah, that's a sweet system, and you're not cheaping out on the storage. This is PCIe Gen 4, which this motherboard and CPU can utilize. You just use the cooler that's included with the CPU. That's what I did in the Corsair system, the Corsair Core build kit. It worked great. This is good. I think this is good. I could pitch an extra $20 on top of the 100. Well, I mean, it's going to be like $12, but yes. And yeah. Crash says, isn't it legal to own a dingo in Australia? I don't know, actually. That hasn't come up yet. I'm actually, you know, money's tight. It gets that way with this kind of job. So I'm actually trying to sell the Corsair system, and someone came in and said, hey, can I give you a PS5, 2 controllers, and some games? And I was like, no. Honestly, the marketplace has been pretty rough around here. Like, no one's just been like, hey, I'll give you $100 less. Here you go. And I'm like, okay, sure. Yikes. It's been rough. I don't know. There's a few systems that I should probably sell. If you guys would be interested in that, please let me know. It's not gonna be exorbitant prices or anything like that. I just, you know, something fair. But yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You know, I don't need the computer, but I do need the money. How do I save this build? I save it. Oh, we already have one with you, so I'm going to do 2. There you go. When do you plan on selling them? Yesterday. I'm pretty happy with that build. That feels good. What you got on that PC that you want to sell? Let me see. It's a 12400 and a 4060. It was a Corsair build kit. It's a $999 build kit that you can buy. And it's a 12400F, a 4060. What was the RAM again? I'd have to look at the specs list. Actually, I can bring it up right here. Let's see. Oh my God, come on. It is this one right here. Here's a list. It's in the 4000D Airflow, 12400F, 16 gigs of DDR4 3200, 4060, yes, 1 terabyte M.2 from Corsair. This is the MP600 Core XT for the drive. 550 watt Corsair power supply, the air cooler that came with it, which I tested this on the stream where I built it, and it kept everything super cool. It was fine. Everything, the temperatures are great. Windows 11 Home pre-installed, all that stuff. And I built this thing. There's actually a stream that you could watch, watching me build it, which is pretty cool. It is a 100% blacked out non-RGB build, except for the little ring around the CPU cooler, which is blue. I don't even, actually, does that even light up? I don't recall. But yeah, and this kit is $1,000, and I'm selling it for $900 with me putting the labor and time in on building it, and there being a video of you watching it being built. If you bought the parts for this to build it yourself, it would be cheaper. This is a pre-built to you, but it is custom built by me. The cable management is gorgeous on this thing. I put a lot of work into that. The only thing is you'd have to pay shipping. I was trying to sell it locally, but you would have to pay for shipping and shipping a PC. But also, all the boxes come with it for all the parts, all that good stuff, which is cool. I don't know what the shipping would cost. But let me bring up some pictures for you. Look at this cable management, though. Super clean. And I pre-ran SATA and data and power cables for you to mount a SATA drive here if you have one. And I also can add storage if you want. It has that 1 terabyte drive, but I can add more, just be an extra fee. Would I sign it? Yes, I would. I can't even sell a 14600K and a 4070 Ti for $1,500 in my area. Yeah, I know. How close is loving New Mexico to you, good sir? Well, I mean, I'm more friends with New Mexico. We're not really there yet. I'm in Texas. I'm in South Texas. Man, that value is just not there in a 2024 pre-built. Sorry, used to built prices. Yeah, 900 seems right. That is a good deal for $900. It should really be 1,000 shipped minimum, to be honest. Well, yeah, no, shipping needs to be paid by the buyer. That's one thing, because I don't know what it's going to be. But also, you get to watch me build this thing and test it, because that VOD is there forever. I actually end up liking the motherboard in this too. Has pretty good I/O. And like, look at this. Look at how clean this looks. Look at that. I also have upgrades, like I can upgrade the RAM to 32 gigs, DDR4 6000, excuse me. I have plenty of storage I can add in there if someone wants that. Just whatever, you know, let me know. And this is what it looks like from this angle. Clean looking PC. But hey, building ain't hard. It's thanks to this community that I built my PC. Yeah. That's why in my disclaimers now, I always mention if you're on the fence between building and buying a pre-built, strongly consider building it yourself because you can get more for your money. You can probably get all the parts for this on PC Part Picker for like $650, $700 or so, maybe 700. I don't know. I haven't checked the pricing. But yeah. What's up, Broga? How's it going? But yeah, if y'all wanted me to, I could sign it. Whoever ends up getting it. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to try selling it within the community, but just know, like I'm not a system integrator. I don't have 24/7 tech support. I can give a little bit of tech support, of course, you know, but this is it's not a pre-built in that sense. So keep that in mind. I am just a dude. It is a very clean PC, and all temps are good. All temperatures are well far away from any kind of thermal throttling. The 4060 does a great job of I did plenty of 1080p gaming with this thing. I did 1440p gaming actually with this thing too, and it worked fine. I think I underestimate the 4060, honestly. Star Fox says, wait, it's different on the other thing. I have a 4060. It's surprising how many games I can play at medium to high quality with DLSS. Absolutely. Lightning Evo says, just a used PC purchase. This used? I haven't used this thing other than building it and testing it, which is what system integrators do, and sell them as new PCs. This is all brand new parts. This is a brand new PC. It's not used. Like, how do you think they test it? They run benchmarks like I did. In fact, it'll whoever gets it it'll arrive with the out of box Windows thing where you set it up and all that. I guess I could set it up with a user account already, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. But yeah. Oh, huh? Yep, exactly. One thing, and this is coming from Jay of Jay's 2 Cents fame. It doesn't matter if you buy a PC from a system integrator or if you buy it from a person who built it custom. If you didn't build it, it's a pre-built. That's his words. 4060 damage card plays First Descendant very well. Nice. I didn't test that. I don't have it. That's something that I've thought about now and then. I wonder if I were to ever get big enough for this, reach out to Gaben over there and be like, hey, could I get like a friends and family account so I can get whatever games I need for testing? That'd be super cool. I wouldn't use it just for gaming on my own. Whoa, why would I do that? I wouldn't do that. No way. Anyway, y'all let me know. For now, we'll move on to the next one. Benjamin says, I would love to build my own PC. I feel like I would struggle with updating BIOS and installing Windows. I picked the parts and paid someone $180 and they did everything for me. I obviously love it. Very cool. I wonder when Intel will start getting competitive with their GPUs. Well, they already were. The A770 and A750 were really good cards once the software caught up and software firmware stuff caught up. The drivers, I should say. That's what it is. They're called drivers. Hi, Brian. I'm thinking about getting the Skytech Legacy 4 4090. What do you What do you advise for a beginner? Brian, what I advise for a beginner is to look at the description of the stream and fill out the form so I know whether that's right for you or not. Computers are always good. They're good. Good computers are great. But if it's the right computer for you, I don't know. You got to get your info in here like everybody else did. Right now, it's Tommy Snaps' turn. Tommy, talk to me. What are we doing? Gaming, pro gaming / esports and streaming. 7800X 3D then. 2500, 1440p in white. Easy. Easy. Easy peasy. And I would send you to the Charlotte Micro Center. It's now their biggest Micro Center. It's supposed to be really nice. Regarding Micro Center pre-builds, it could be their brand or they build it. I run 3 monitors for work, gaming, etc. I prefer to go through the parts list and build and choose out the parts myself, but their pre-builds are good. There's a couple people on Facebook I've seen who offer to build your PC for free just because they love it. That's cool. Today, Junior. Oh, we might not be able to do a bundle. Well, we can probably swap the motherboard. Ooh, they have a bundle with a motherboard that has silver elements, white elements to it. That's awesome. That was the other bad thing about a bundle is you couldn't choose the color of the motherboard. What's the difference between these two? They're the same thing. Wait. 48 gigs of RAM instead of 32. Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't go with... Wait, DDR5 5200? Are y'all okay? What are you doing? Why are you putting DDR5 5200 on a 7800X3D, Micro Center? What the heck? That's on not on this one. Okay, we're gonna do this 7900 XT though. That chooses the GPU for you. All right, we're gonna go from scratch. They're choosing. Why do they do that with the RAM? That's so stupid. Besides, we're gonna be able to get a much better looking motherboard this way, if they have it. They have this one, the X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. I really like this board, but it's... let's see if they have the Gigabyte one I'm thinking about. And they do. Okay. We'll go X670E, but look at this thing. Look at it. Here, where there's a good picture. One cool thing about this board, and I mentioned this before, it has an internal HDMI that uses the built-in GPU that's in the CPU, the iGPU, I should say. So you can run something like a little screen inside the PC without having to have a cable run outside of it. Pretty nice. Nobody else does that. What is DDR5 5200 good for? A discount, I guess. Is it mini HDMI? It is a full-size HDMI port. Trident Z5 Neo, please. And so, yes, it's right there, actually. Or where did it go? There we go. 32 gigs, DDR5 6400. That would work on it, too. DDR5 6400 was supposed to be the new sweet spot with the new Agisa that was out before. So this should work really well. Let's go ahead and pick that right there. For $129. And that'll look good with that board too. With that silver and black. Yeah, it'll look good. Oh, question for you real quick, Tommy. What's the actual maximum budget for the PC? If you want to, remember, this is just a parts list. You can change it if you want, but it's the other specs that are important too. 64 gigs is usually what I go with if you're going to be doing video editing. 32 gigs is usually plenty for what you do. Okay. Now, are you including the build fee in that? Or is the build fee separate? They had unwanted RAM to clear. Yeah. Benjamin says, how can we support your channel and the amazing work you do? Well, you can become a member on YouTube. and or subscribe on Twitch. Using discount codes when you get a PC is the main thing I'd go for, because then you're not paying extra to support me. And the last thing is on the Twitch channel, there's a panel there with donations available. I don't really usually encourage that, because I'd rather you put your money towards your PC. Okay, don't include that. Okay, there we go. So we'll keep it to 2,500 or less for sure. Okay. 4070 Ti Super should be good for 1440p gaming and streaming. We could also go AMD, because now in OBS you can do a one-click thing to set everything up, and that includes 7000 series Radeon cards. Let's go here. And look at 1440p. Eventually. There we go. So, 4070 Ti Super's right here. The RX 7900 XT is there, so it's going to give you better rasterized performance. This is 1440p Ultra. 4080 Super, of course, is going to be higher, but the 7900 XTX is going to be even higher than that. 4090 is up here, of course. But that, like, the price difference between here and here, diminishing returns 100%. All right. Let's look at the price difference between 4080 Super and 7900 XTX real quick. So, in white and silver, of course. It should be possible. See, here's a Gigabyte Aero. That would really match the board really well. That is $1,099. There's a Zotac in white. One thing I would recommend to you would be a GPU support bracket. And not just Gigabyte has experienced this, but some GPUs have had some PCB cracking just because of how heavy the cooling solutions can be. I would do that. I would get a good GPU support bracket there, or request one from Micro Center. But I'm going to go ahead and choose this one right here. And you get your 4080 Super. There you go. I tend to stick with PC for 3 to 4 years and sell it and move on, so I don't mind a few extra bucks. Sounds good. All right, cool. Inland Performance Plus, always a solid recommendation. 2 terabytes. Should carry you for a good long while. $134.99. Good night, guy. 3 a.m. comes too fast. Sorry to hear it so late over there, but thanks for coming in and hanging out. Go get some sleep. I hot clue a piece of chopstick for GPU support, says Robutu. Interesting. Dal 721, 2 terabytes for 130 is so good. Oh yeah, and the speeds on that thing, excellent. The longevity, better than Samsung. Such a good drive. I got one right here. This is the drive that I'm putting in there, the 2 terabyte Inland Performance Plus. I love this thing. Now it is case time, and I have a couple of questions for you. First off, how do you feel about RGB? Do you want a bunch of it or none of it? And secondly, do you want a lot of glass or mostly just performance-based is what you're looking for? Love to see that there's almost as many white case options as there are black case options. That's good. It's good to see. Oh, yeah. 7,000 megabyte per second read speeds. Glass and RGB, but not crazy. Okay. King 95 Pro. You got it? They don't got it. Oh, there's 2 pages. 1 second. Although I would say that the K95 Pro is crazy in terms of glass and RGB. I'd go with the King 95 non-pro, but then you have to find reverse flow 140 millimeter fans, and they might not have those. So I would say the 011 Dynamic Evo RGB is probably the best choice here. And then we just have to choose some fans. It's all within budget, so we're good. I'll do you one better. You say you like the ones that look like the 011 Dynamic. How about the actual 011 Dynamic Evo RGB? I like this one because it's reversible. You can have it the other way if you want, like upside down, and the feet just move over to the side, all that. Yeah, power supply. Only 2 choices in white, really? Oh man, the Seasonic Vertex Sakura Edition. That thing is way overpriced though. Okay, you're not a white power supply, sorry. You can always get yourself some white cable extensions. They'll install them for you. Seasonic. Let's just pick that brand. Not afraid to admit that I'm biased. I am a little biased in that as well. There's a reason for my bias, though. White PC builds show up way better on camera. They're easier to film. 149 Seasonic USA Focus V3 GX 1000 ATX 3.0. 149. The platinum one is 279. But you're talking about like what, 3%, 3 or 4% better efficiency, 2% better. I don't know what it is. This is very good. In 80 plus gold versus 80 plus platinum, it's not a huge difference. But the price, that is a huge difference. Wait, what are we at so far on the budget? We are at $21.90. Oh yeah, we're good. I guess we go all Lee and Lee. Wait a second. We got to look at what the... Oh. We got to look at what fans they have in stock. Yo, they got the reverse 120s, SL Infinities. Yeah, that just decided it for us. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Get 6 of those. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Update quantity. There we go. Oh, this thing's 289 though. What can we do? It's gonna put us a little over budget. By a lot, actually. Okay. Let's try a different one. See what other reverse flow fans they have. Yeah, the 280. It has a screen on it. Yes. I'll see if they have the different one without the screen. That'll probably get the budget, get it under budget. There it is, though. That does have the screen on it. You can show temps. You can show GIFs on there. You can show JPEGs, whatever you want to put. But it has also within Lee and Lee software different animations and different telemetry that it can show. It is superfluous. You don't need that. So let's if you want it, I'll leave it on there, but we're $160 over budget. That's not good. Let me just choose Lee and Lee in general. They might have the non-screen version of this, but with the Infinity fans. Oh, they do right here. And it's $189. So it's $100 difference. And so we're $60.45 over budget.
I do believe that the 32 gigs of RAM should be fine for gaming and streaming. You shouldn't have any problems with that. If you want the 64 gigs, I can do that, but we're already over budget. So the other option would be probably to go with the 7900 XTX instead of the 4080 Super. It's going to be better performance in rasterized gaming, graphics, though their ray tracing is not quite as good because they're in their second generation of hardware accelerated ray tracing, whereas NVIDIA's in their third generation. But still a very, very powerful GPU, more powerful in hardware than the 4080 Super. Run me through the build. Okay, sure. So here we have the 7800X3D. 8 cores, 16 threads. It is the top gaming CPU on the market. And even though we didn't do a bundle, it is down from $350 down to $225. Where's the bundle? Show me the bundle. I don't see it, but whatever. It's just a discount. Then we got the Gigabyte X670E Aorus Pro X. That's a change I could make. Hold on a second. They have other options here that are just as good looking, have just about the same I/O, but don't cost as much. The B650E instead gives you just about the same I/O. You still have the onboard HDMI, all that good stuff. But if we select that, suddenly we are closer to budget. We are $20 over. 60 is fine if it's better. Okay. We'll go back to the X670E. X670E does have more I/O in general, more throughput, all that good stuff, double chipset, everything. So sure. Okay. It also has some RGB on the board, things like that, you know. Absolutely necessary stuff for sure. The only other things here are going to be your operating system. All you have to do is ask them to install Windows 11 Home and not activate it. They'll install it unactivated, and instead of paying $120 to $200 for it, you can just go to my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals, spend like $20-25 with my code PRAY25, and there's your operating system. You install, you put the license in, and you're good. The rest of the build, let's keep going. 32 gigs of DDR5 Trident Z5 Neo, which means it has Expo profile for your RAM. Okay, for your RAM overclocking. It is DDR5 6400 CL32. Very quick, high frequency, good latency. We have the 4080 Super Aero from Gigabyte. We could go with a cheaper card here. That's also white. That would also could also get us under budget. This one matches the motherboard. That's why I chose it. But either way. Honestly. Oh, snap. Okay. I just had something to say real quick through all these emotes. But Ben Honda S2K just gifted 10 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. That is a tier 1 sub for Star Fox 333, Sneaky Dude, Shaman Actual 9, Warrior Sailor, Scotimus Prime, Wheelie Mans, Tommy Snaps, a Beard Hero, long lost sibling apparently, Body Boy BE, and Angry Beaver 316. Welcome to the swarm. Beaver, you're already part of the swarm. You know. But thank you. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Good Lord. What was that for then? You have good taste in cars, by the way. S2K is a gem. Why is it not showing this? It's not showing the thing up there. That's annoying. I gotta revamp my stuff. It's yeah, but thank you. You had me yelling about it, so that's what matters. We'll just turn those sounds off because they're probably getting annoying. Late to the party, home from work finally. Good evening, folks. What's up, Simple Green? How's it going? So, whenever I recommend a PC, 32 gigs is what I recommend for a streaming PC. If you want to do more, we can. I can change up a couple of things, and that's not a problem. Let's go do that. Don't worry about it. This is going to be fine. if you want to. Like, check this out. So if we change your card to the, let's see, what option was it? It was, hold on. Let me cook real quick. Give me a second. We could also go with 7900 XTX, but if you want NVIDIA, you want NVIDIA. That wasn't specifically mentioned, but the Zotac card is going to take off, let's see, $30 from the price. You do that. What about this? What are, let me see. What are these running in white? Let's see. They don't have a white one. So no, never mind. I changed my mind. But yeah, just check this. Just give me a second, and I'll address the RAM issue for you, because I don't want you to have any insecurities about your PC at all. And yes, Zotac makes a great GPU. Their 40 series cards are very, very solid. We'll change this back to the B650E, which for streaming PC should be plenty. I'll show you the I/O if you want to see it. That's usually my main issue with motherboards, if they don't have enough I/O for streaming. Look at that. Not bad at all. There's 11 USB Type A's plus a USB Type C with DisplayPort functionality and a full HDMI on the back. Wi-Fi 6E, 2.5 gig Ethernet. If we look at the other motherboard, it's going to be very similar. That's the other thing. Check this out. Very similar. That is still 11 USB Type A's and a Type C, not with DisplayPort though. 2.5 gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 7 on this though. If you have a Wi-Fi 7 router, you might prefer this one, but it's very similar. Thank you, Ben. I really do appreciate that. Look at that nice little golden gift box you got there for being the top gifter. I appreciate you. Okay. So now we're at $24.90, right? Because we changed the motherboard, we changed the GPU. So we took $70 off by doing that. And then we go to G-Skill only. There we go. Search the word Neo, but actually type it. There we go. Oh, is capacity still selected? Oh, it wasn't silver, so it's not the right color, but you prefer this. If you prefer this, you do, then sure. And thank you for the tier 1 subscription, Ben. Welcome to the swarm yourself. Thank you very much. And we're at $75 over budget instead of 60, but now you have 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30, so lower latency, lower frequency, but it all balances out. That is a sweet spot for Ryzen 7000 series. And still the 2 terabytes inland performance plus. You're not going to get a better price than this on that kind of performance and longevity. O11D Evo. We could go with a cheaper case, cooler and fans. We totally could do that, but this is kind of what aligned with what you wanted. I run Ethernet, but prefer option for Wi-Fi if ever needed. They both have Wi-Fi. The current motherboard that's in there now has Wi-Fi 6E, which most routers will have now, but newer routers will have Wi-Fi 7. It does make for a good failover if you need it. Yeah, and we went with the Galahad 2 Trinity SL Infinity and reverse Infinity fans for the side and bottom intake. I mean, we didn't really cut any corners in this build. We just changed a couple of the parts. And yeah, X670E would be nice, but not necessary, because you saw how much I/O you have. You have plenty with this. In this case, I mean, I think the previous build was fine, but I don't want you to have any doubts about your PC. If you had a doubt about the RAM, you don't have any doubts about the motherboard. You haven't said you doubt the GPU. So, and Zotac makes a really solid GPU. You're good there. So if you're going to be more certain about it with this build, go with this build right here. Apocalyptic really likes a Montec King. I agree. It's a really nice case. I wish they had the King 95 Pro here. I would have gone with that case. But the 011 EVO RGB is incredibly nice as a case. Okay. Yeah, if there's one thing you're concerned with, I'd rather address that one thing. So here's what you need to do. You've probably heard me say this a bunch. Click the link I just gave you, and then you go here to save your build, and it'll ask you to create a Micro Center account. Please do so, or you can just add it all to cart. You can even hit Same Day Pro Assembly right there, and then you're good to go. That is a custom build for you. And do me a favor, because maybe it's an ego thing. I don't know. But when you get it built, ask them what they think about the build specs and how it was built, because this bald dude on the internet told you to choose those parts. All right, Clay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Clay H, you still here? I know you told me yourself that you switched from YouTube to Twitch. Let me know if you're still here. C Clay H is what the name is now. C Clay Run. Run, Clay, run. Tommy Snaps, I'm sorry I don't have the Jane hat handy. I need to take that thing off of there till I find it. Here. You get donut hat. How about that? I need to get a big time hat now. And a speed one. Yeah, it is. Keeping It Fishy says late night stream. Somewhat. Most of my streams are late because I'm a night owl that also has chronic fatigue syndrome. So whenever I'm going to naturally have energy, I need to accommodate that. All right, Clay's here. Sweet. Clay, what's your actual maximum budget, if I may ask? If it's $3,000 even, that's fine. If it's higher, please let me know. We're looking for a PC for gaming, pro gaming / esports and streaming. Yo, Igor just gifted a tier 1 sub to Clay. Very nice. Thank you very much, Igor. Look at that. 149 subs gifted in the channel. Igor, my friend, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ben. And Clay, welcome to the swarm. Yeah, if you get gifted a sub, be sure to refresh the stream so you don't get ads when they come up. Sometimes it won't recognize that you're subscribed then until you reload. Okay, budget's 3,000. Okay. So 1440p with $3,000. It's easy. You have pretty much the pick of the litter. You don't have to limit yourself to going with a high volume seller. You can go with pretty much any system integrator you want and get amazing 1440p performance. So let me ask you this. Well, I said you're not interested in upgrading your CPU over time. Unfortunately, I'm still going to, I mean, not unfortunately, but probably still going to go with AMD because a 7800X3D would be the right choice here. String cheese. Igor, the #1 supporter, pretty much at this point. All y'all are supportive, and I appreciate y'all. Whether you can put money into that support or not, it doesn't matter to me. I appreciate all of you guys. If all you can do is show up and chat a bunch, or even not chat and just lurk, any support you guys can give, I appreciate. Crash says, I love cheese, but I can't think about what it is while I'm eating it. Okay. I mean, it's just cheese. Apocalyptic. Oh my, here we go. All right, apocalyptic. We know. Let me ask you a question. What does that say right there? Do they need a 4090? Does anybody need a 4090? No. Is it cheaper to build it yourself? Yeah. I say that all the time. All the time. I say this. Every video has a disclaimer saying, hey, if you're on the fence about buying pre-built or building it yourself, strongly consider building it yourself because you get more for your money. It's not a revelation. I can see why you redacted that. Like, obvious, it's so, where does that mentality? There's a choice in the form to choose either a parts list or pre-built. If they say pre-built, they have made that choice already. Okay, please try to be understanding with other people's preferences and what they want to do with their money. It is their money. Now, there is a choice that is still to be made here, okay? And that is whether we go boutique or with a high volume seller. With a high volume SI, you're gonna get higher end components for less money, but that's only gonna be in the GPU and the CPU specs, not necessarily higher end in the motherboard, or unless, let's see here. Yeah, you gotta understand apocalyptic. I've been getting those comments for like 4 years. So it's a little bit of a trigger for me. At least I handle them in a healthy fashion. Actually, hold on. I want to link a video for you. I get the same comments so many times. I made a video about it, and I'd like you to watch it. Here you go. This is one of my favorite videos, and it's so funny that I was wearing the donut hat. I put it in both chats. It's funny that I was wearing my donut hat because you'll see how it was very, very much inspired by the modern poet James Pumphrey from Up to Speed. So yeah, you got the audience member, you know. Anyways, okay, back to business here. So the choice is going to be, as I was saying, you can go with a high volume seller and get like a higher end GPU, like a higher spec GPU or CPU or whatever. But certain components might be a little lower spec. What I was thinking is we could do a custom system from iBuy Power, get you 5% off, and make it pretty freaking high spec. In fact, I'll just use one of these links here because it's basically the same builder that I always use. Oh, this is a full builder. That's right. Well, we can do that. Or stop stopping me, please. Where is my specific builder that's for pre-built, rebuilt? Where is that? Hold on a second. Let me find the link for that. I didn't mean to come down on you, Apocalyptic. Like I said, it's just a thing that I've heard so many times. And I understand that's why you deleted it. But I can't unread it, right? It's okay. Okay. No, I understand. Okay, cool. You should look at iBuyPower ready. Y40 RG201 says keeping it fishy. We wouldn't really need to go with a ready system here. And here's the reason. Because they want to do streaming. With a ready system, you can't choose your motherboard. Here, we can choose the motherboard, and that's what we're going to do. What'd you say for the case? You wanted it to be in... what the hell just happened? Okay. My mouse has been acting up. Here we go. In black. Okay. Okay, so you do have some choice of cases here. Okay. King 95 Pro is always a good choice. The case that's currently chosen is the one that I'm using for the pre-built, rebuilt system. Oh, that's not the right one. Hold on. That's the right one. Here we go. This is a case that was chosen for the pre-built, rebuilt system. It looks awesome. And if you plan on following along with upgrading your PC over time, things like that, or you want to use the series as a guide, it's going to be cool to be able to use, to be able to watch videos where the case you have is the one being modified or the one being worked in. And that's what this is right here. But if you choose a different case, I can definitely suggest the Montech King 95 Pro. I do not recommend any of Height's Y series cases for a streaming PC. I do not recommend that. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you. Say even though you get a motherboard with good I/O, you still run out because you have 3 Stream Decks now, Stream Deck pedals, you have 2 Elgato face cams, you have your audio interface, you just have all these different USB devices. You run out of stuff on your motherboard, so you get yourself one of these cards right here. See that? That is an add-in USB PCIe card. Okay? You can't put this in a Y series case, a Y40, Y60, or Y70, because it is a full height PCI card. And Y series cases can only accommodate half height ones. You want to get yourself a CamLink Pro so you can have 4 HDMI, 4K 30 feeds through HDMI there? Too bad you can't fit it in that case. It is not for streamers or content creators, in my opinion. And I think that Height should be making things like this that are like low profile. It's about that wide, but double stacked because you have so many unused low profile PCIe slots when you have this. It's my thing. Igor 1980 says, I need a 5090 Ti Super. They're not even making a 4090 Ti or Super. Are they? Maybe they will. Who knows? Keep getting mixed reviews on companies, so I'm mixed on where to buy. First, I'm having all 3 pieces of the Triforce. Nice, Crash. Power, wisdom, and courage to you, my friend. I have 5 for sale. I only take Bitcoin. Yo, Ignis Pluvius, how are you? How's it going? It has been a minute. Hope you've been well. Oh, Ben Honda said, you helped me with my PC and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, back to business here. But if you want something that's not this case, King 95 Pro is an awesome choice. and it looks like this. Not like that, like this. Lots of RGB, lots of glass, all that good stuff. Let me know what case you want. We can come back to that. X3D for gaming and streaming should be fine. For gaming, it's the best, and for streaming, 8-core, 16 threads should be good. Okay. Uh, 5000 series is, 5000 series is canceled. Introducing new Blackwell 5090, only twice the price of 4090, half the power consumption, same frames. Short Game says 3K is a solid budget. It is. I argue we can make any budget a solid budget, considering the like $560 PC I built earlier. But yeah. I guess we could go Corsair. Oh, this is fine here. A little bit less RGB. How do you feel about RGB? Do you want a lot of RGB or do you not care as much? We could also just do the full builder. That has more options. Let's do that. Mixed? Mixed what? Oh, okay. So you're not big on RGB, or you're okay with it? You're fine with it? Was away all July in the country with my family. Came back to the city and good internet because of university, but first 2 weeks teachers go on strike. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome back to civilization. Okay, it doesn't really matter in the case. Cool, we'll stick with that one. X3D is already selected. Very nice. And then we go with a... We could go NZXT on the cooler. I'm trying to get you some RGB in here to add to the RGB that already comes with the case. But I hesitate to go, like, I love Deepcool's products, but I hesitate to choose those because, you know, support for it might be lacking if Deepcool isn't able to get through the sanctions. So we can go, like, why do they have the white Galahad 2, but not in black? What is the deal there? NZXT makes a great AIO. We'll go with that. You'll just have to have the NZXT cam software to control the RGB in the screens and stuff. So, yeah. 32 gigs, DDR5 6000 already chosen. There we go. We're only at 1884. We can go pretty bonkers on the GPU. 4070 Ti Super, perhaps. That is bonkers for 1440p. We could even go 4080 Super, actually. Should still be in budget. We're going to want a good motherboard, though. And I'm going to go ahead and suggest the same one that I always suggest because of this. Look at that I/O. It is gorgeous. Look at this. Look at this. You connect all your streaming stuff there. There you go. Plus 20 gigabit per second Type-C, 2.5 gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6E, flash, BIOS flashback, all that good stuff. And it's only $31 more than the B650-P Wi-Fi. Yeah. Which is also a decent motherboard. Don't get me wrong. Kids got no respect these days. I get my kid's respectful and nice, so I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, to be fair, that kid was raised on sarcasm. So, okay, we're gonna go with this. If RGB doesn't matter and aesthetics doesn't matter, I mean, still a 360 for $230 less. Yeah, let's do that. You already have front RGB, front and rear RGB fans. You don't need that extra. Plus, you have this awesome stripe along the side, which and the front, which is amazing looking. Like, it looks sick in person, guys. I can't even like explain to you. It looks so good. And this is with a, did I put the 4080 Super in there? I certainly did. 4080 Super, so 1,000 watt power supply. 80 plus platinum PCIe Gen 5 from Be Quiet. RM1000E is always a good choice. Tough Power GFA 3 is a really good choice, but it is also, well, no, yeah, that's a really good choice. Yeah, Tough Power GFA 3. Very highly rated power supply on PSU Cultist tier list. You get both game bundles. That's awesome. So because you've got the 7800X3D, you get 2 games from AMD. And because you got the 4080 Super, you get Star Wars Outlaws. Nice. Okay, so there's a free upgrade to a 2 terabyte drive here, but I'm going to go ahead and say let's put a faster drive in there. Kingston Fury Renegade, 2 terabyte, right there. There you go. We're still under budget. What else can we do? I mean, had I not swapped out the cooler, it would be closer to the budget. And also, you're going to get 5% off. So, like, well, the white motherboard tying with everything else. If you want a different motherboard, I can choose a different one. I usually choose that one because it's such a great price for all that I/O you get, plus 4 M.2 sockets and all that. But we don't have to worry about that quite as much. We can also go with 64 gigs of RAM instead of 32. But let's look at their motherboard choices here real quick, just to see what's there. I don't like the Carbon. X670E. There's also the Creator board, but surprisingly enough, it doesn't have as much I/O as the X670E has, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check this. So that's the X670E. This actually has really, really good I/O. If you go with the Creator board here, it actually has less I/O. Is it not going to let me click on this and drag it? I'm doing all this. All of this. Yeah. So, and here's the thing. You're getting the same number of USB Type-C, though. These are 40 gig, right? Basically, you can do Thunderbolt 4 devices on this, things like that. But most devices that I use when it comes to streaming devices are USB Type-A, not Type-C. That can change over time, yeah, but you still have 3 Type-Cs here. So you're totally fine. I prefer this board here for streaming. I think this could have been a lot better. For the ProArt Creator board, an entire row of USB Type-A should have been here with these 2 ports moved up to the top here like they are on this. They could have fit an entire row right there. That would have made it more of a Creator board IMO. There you go, $29.53. And we can probably still, check this out, go with 64 gigs of RAM because that puts it to 3,083, right? Oh no, that's okay. I got you. If we use my code Braithorn6, it takes $154 off the price, putting us at $29.28.85. Oh, there you go. There you go. Now, to be clear, the graphics card will ship uninstalled. I have guides on how to go ahead and plug that thing in and put in the 3 screws, and then you're good. That I do have a guide on that already, and there will be an additional one coming up with pre-built rebuilt. But yeah, we're under budget with 64 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of very fast storage, and you can add more storage to this motherboard as well over time. You're probably going to want to do that, but for streaming, it's not as necessary as if you were doing video editing. You're fine with 2 terabytes probably, at least for a while. And yeah, I'll also have a video on how to add storage to your system. Plus, you have the 7800X 3D, 8 cores, 16 threads, best gaming CPU on the market. Plus, gaming and streaming on 8 cores with 16 threads, you're fine. And the 4080 Super 1000-watt tough power GF-A3 power supply is awesome, very highly rated. I'll even show you. Check it out right here. Where is it? Thermaltake Tough Power GF1. Where's the GF-A3? Oh, it's up there in the ATX 3.0 compatible. There you go. Okay. Gold rated, all that good stuff. This one's custom built for you with your exact specs. I think we're good, but let me give you the link for it. If you have a pre-built for me to look at, you got to start with that. I guess you could DM me the link on, you just whisper it to me on Twitch. Just click my name, click whisper, send over the link. I'll take a quick look at it. Wolfcross says, I think your code saved me like $218. That is awesome. That's what I love about Operation Code Braithorn, something I started a while back that allows me to do this for a living. It hasn't been super fruitful lately, but it is best because I prefer for you guys to support me by saving money rather than spending money. Like extra just to support what I do. This way you get to spend less and help me keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, so we're comparing it to this. Nope. Yeah, I wouldn't go with this. Yeah, first off, it's a 13900K. I'm not really recommending those right now. 4090, you don't need that. You're doing 1440p. You need a balanced system for streaming. Like, it's better to have that kind of balance. You need, having the... this has more cores. It does. But the 4090 is going to be using more power, putting out more heat without any super big benefit to you. Okay, this is the performance difference between a 4080 Super and a 4090. Where did I put it? Here, in 1440p Ultra, about 135 35 FPS on average rasterized, versus about 145 for besides which, until we get the word back, until we've really observed the new microcode for a while, it's hard to say whether it actually is safe to use or not. And as a last thing here, oh, you actually said no, you're not interested in upgrading your CPU over time, which is fair. But yeah, also on this system here, we can't choose the motherboard. We don't know what motherboard it is, what kind of IO it has, because there's no picture of the IO. You're going to have a lot of places to plug in your devices for streaming with the system that we built. So if you want Skytech, we could have done a custom system at Skytech, but it wouldn't have this kind of discount. Now, why is this discount so drastic here? Well, guys, right now it's a little hard to sell Intel. And that is not Skytech's fault. That is Intel's fault 100%. Not because they made a mistake, but because of how they handled it. That's on them. It's a good looking system though. But as you said, well, I mean, the other system looks really good too, I think. But yeah. Oh no, the Azure 2 or the Sky 2 from Montech is actually quite good. You can even have reverse flow fans in the bottom here. You see how much ventilation there is? And Skytech will send you the extra fans in case you want to put them in. But these are reverse flow on the side for intake, and then you can have intake on the bottom as well. I actually considered swapping out the rear fan for the reverse flow intake one they sent, just to get more flow to the radiator, but it performed great. It performed just fine in the testing that I did on the Azure 2. I have an unboxing and testing stream for that you can go check out if you like. But this is actually when I really started to get interested in Montech's cases, and they have continued to innovate. I think they're doing good stuff. Makes sense. Just curious, new the whole PC thing. Just wondering the differences. Thanks for your time. No problem. Hey, the difference here, you have a system that was custom tailored just for your needs, your budget, all that stuff. So they're both good companies though. Skytech and iBuyPower are both very good. So you can't go wrong with either one, but here we went with a custom system, and I think that's going to benefit you. And with that, it looks like we're done with builds. At the moment. Built by the man himself too. Well, I mean, I didn't build it, but maybe we can pretend I did. And let's be real quick. I mean, I'm always real, sometimes to a fault. But when you use a coupon code, don't think that SIs don't notice that. They absolutely do. And it's sometimes it can make them more. I mean, they're usually pretty down to work with me on stuff. But I mean, if anything, it just validates that for them. Did I already do this? Yes. That helps me look it up later if I need to. $150 coupon, someone better notice. Well, it's 5%, but yeah. Warrior Sailor, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. You have a good night too. Doc Illa, what's up, Doc? How's it going? I ended up with an ASRock Z790 Lightning, and it's awesome I/O visually and performance. It's awesome. Nice. Keeping it fishy says, not to be that guy, which people usually say before being that guy. But you literally said the iBuyPower Ready system I just said wasn't good for streaming, but in your AMD PCs for every budget video, that is was. Okay? There's a difference between something being good for it or better for it. The system that we did here is going to be better for it because we can choose. I can't, in a video, make a custom system that suits every individual viewer. In the streams, I can. Now, as for here's something that I get to be biased about. In my streams, I can be more biased about things like IO, and not very few people are actually going to use that many USB ports on their system, even if they're streaming. I do that. I use a ton of USB because I run basically two streaming setups. This one and then my standing up one when I'm unboxing a PC, doing all that stuff. But I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Now, there are low profile USB PCIe add-in cards. They exist. They're out there. But if something is better for it, like this one where it's full sized, then that's what I'm going to recommend. Cadet Johnson, what's up? How's it going? I was looking at Alexander's Spartan model with AMD chip and 7900 XT for 2700. Then I saw NZXT at a Player 3 on sale from 3K down to 2500 with the 7900 XTX. Is it really just going to come down to warranty and customer support, or am I missing something? Well, Cadet Johnson, for one thing, it's not just about CPU and GPU, and I don't know how many times I need to say this. NZXT makes some choices that I straight up dislike in their pre-builds. When it comes to their motherboard choices, sometimes with maybe the RAM they choose, RAM speeds, things like that, maybe the storage that they use, but they're not always obvious about what they're putting in those systems. So it doesn't just come down to warranty and customer support. A boutique build is a boutique build for a reason. It's not just about the support, it's also about the build itself and the choices that are made, which is why when you go to Alexander PCs, you get a freaking litany. You get a whole novel's worth of them explaining why they chose each part that they chose. And it's pretty awesome. That's one of the things that really stuck out to me with Alexander PCs right off the bat. Right off the bat, I saw that. I was like, this is somebody who cares about what they're building. Sorry, Bray, I missed the first part of your sentence. Don't think SIs don't notice what? I'm saying, like, when you guys use a code, system integrators notice that. They obviously like it. Like, that's good. So when you guys do that, that's another way to support me because, or it's another benefit of that kind of support because it is showing SIs that several things actually. Because when you, okay, let's go to Facecam for this. When we add a company to our list of coupon codes, that's generally there's something I see in them that in a way vets them for me. Okay. Meta PCs, it was them picking up all the warranties for light gaming PCs customers that lost their warranties. Right away, I was like, you guys, that's it. That's a coupon code right there. Bam. Keep up with those and don't like mess that up because you just took on a huge responsibility, but wow. Just that, usually them talking to me, telling me their methodology, what they want to do. Also, mostly the main thing is getting feedback. Okay. So if I start getting a bunch of negative feedback, like I did with CyberPower, I could have reached out to CyberPower and set up a coupon code with them. Probably. I don't care to, not until they fix their customer service. So when they see that, oh, we must be doing, they're basically saying, oh, we're doing something right because Bray's still recommending us. And that's not me patting myself on the back. It's just a function of what I do. Apocalyptic, I use a decent amount without even streaming. And that's going to be a subjective thing. That is going to be a subjective thing. Sailor X says, hey, Bray, have you heard of an SI called Cobra Type? I think I have. I'd have to look them up, though. What a name, though. Sin Bleed says, do you think the next Intel Arrow leak will hit hard for AMD considering their poor performance? It's not poor performance, Sin Bleed. It is mishandled expectations. If you actually look at, if you go back and look at what I've said before many times about 9000 series, I was saying, like, if you're going to be doing more than gaming, they're probably going to be good. And they are. To be clear, like MSI is coming out with a BIOS update that is going to allow for extreme PBO, because even precision, the standard PBO is using less wattage than like previous CPUs were using, 7000 series and all that. And they're seeing huge uplifts in performance. So I think AMD's big focus on efficiency, although I respect it, And I think advancing your performance while lowering your power usage, that is true advancement. Oh. What's up, Gary? How's it going? Flavor D. Okay, I gotta hydrate now. So as for Arrow Lake, Intel's got some work to do when it comes to consumer trust right now. I'm worried. Knowing that they went a year and a half without saying a word about oxidation issues on 13th gen is like, how can I recommend them now? That's crazy. I still probably will once we know with Arrow Lake what's going to happen. And yeah, even with the microcode update, I can probably get back to starting to recommend Intel stuff what I want to see. I want to see how it goes. In the video that I'm publishing soon, I ask SIs to step up with sharing test results with the new microcode and stuff like that, because they're better suited to that kind of testing than any individual reviewer is. More PCs come out of SIs than, say, any single builder, right? But anyway, around the time Arrow Lake is coming out is probably around the time 9000 X3D chips are going to be coming out. Good luck, Intel. Because as we can see from, like, looking at when I guess when we look at charts, maybe I see things a little differently. What I see is a great foundation for some insane 3D V-Cache chips. Intel is on notice, man. And my big beef with AMD right now is just the fact that on the 9950X that you have to do core parking, even though there's no 3D V-Cache. Like, I know their engineers are smarter than me. I know this. I know it for a fact, but I don't feel it right now. It doesn't feel that way. Feelings are irrational. We can agree on that. Okay? But the 9950X3D is going to have core parking, just like the 7950X3D did, and it's going to make sense there. Crash says, I'm sure Apex Gaming will do a code with you, Bray. Well, Crash, funny story. That's how I found them, was they reached out to me to sponsor SI Weekly, which I don't allow because I don't allow system integrators to sponsor System Integrators Weekly. And they wanted to do that. So yes, you're right. But that's why I'm telling you guys it's two-sided. I have to approve it too. I want to know if Raptor Lake team leads got fired for this mess. Doubtful, but who knows? They could be part of the 15,000. Look, 15,000 people got fired for this mess. We don't need more people fired, I guess. I would rather have those team leads stay in place and learn a freaking lesson than have some other jokers come in who did not learn that lesson, who are just going to repeat those mistakes. Arrow Lake also does have 3D V-Cache. Yeah, and that's good. It's a good technology. Are they going to do it as well as AMD is going to do it? Think about this. I talk about this a lot. AMD Radeon cards are on their second gen of hardware accelerated ray tracing. NVIDIA's on their third gen. AMD's probably never going to catch up to NVIDIA when it comes to ray tracing, right? AMD's about to be on their third gen of 3D V-Cache. Intel's thinking about their first gen. There's even rumors that you'll be able to overclock 9000 series X3D chips. Crazy. What are the difference in the cores on a CPU? I'm not sure what the context for your question is. Like, what do you mean? What happened just now? Oh, it's a little blue screen. No big deal. It's more efficient than it is poor performance as apocalyptic. Exactly. Their stock got smoked too. And if you're talking about Intel, yeah, it did. If you're talking about AMD, sure it did. Everyone's stocks are up and down. That's how stocks go, but yeah. What's up, Anton? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Does that have anything to do with Cobra Commander? It might. Maybe we'll take I don't have anybody waiting for... Oh, we do actually have someone, but... Oh, no, that was on the 9th. Where are we at? Okay, yeah, we're actually clear right now. Let's check out Cobra Type. Anton said, oh, of course, we have a thing pop up, stop us from browsing. Oh, good. There's two of them. Reject all cookies. Thank you. Some cookies are good, guys. You don't have to reject all of them, but I don't even know these people. Okay. Pretty clean website, not going to lie. They have a blog. What year is it? Well, they use Y series cases. That's good. So those are nice. Intel. Oh boy, y'all are having a bad time, aren't you? The only AMD PC here has a 5600X. Oh, of course these are featured deals. All right, let's see here. Well, there's a 7800X 3D, so that's nice. Wait, these are build your... Oh, select your class. All right, let's go Pro. Why is the Pro, like, third from the top? Okay, they're using a PVIA cases. Not a strong showing there, but what else have we got? Corsair, Cooler Master, Deep Cool. Old Deep Cool. That is old Deep Cool right there. Oldish. What is wrong with this picture? Oh, my God. Oh, it gets squished, I guess. That looks insane. This looks like a Rob Liefeld drawing. Add some pouches and you're good to go. And no feet, though. You got to hide those little feet down there. Oh, that does resemble the kind of feet he draws. Fractal. Okay, so they have some nice cases. 011 Dynamic. We're well past the old 011 Dynamic now, but okay. 5000D, but so the old style 5000D. Okay. Y60. Here's a 4000D. So it automatically updates the case fans. Okay. Can we change this to AMD? Yes, we can. And they have a full lineup of 7000 series. No 9000 series, but that's not a big surprise because very few SIs have 9000 series yet. iBuyPower has them, but like Skytech, it's pre-order only. Northern Lights, how's it going? Hope you have a great stream. I do too. Thank you, keeping it fishy. Appreciate you. And you know what? Thank you for calling me out. It's good to keep me accountable for the things I say in previous videos and stuff. I don't think I gave that enough credit. Look at how much Intel though. They're having a bad time right now, I got to tell you. Oh man. That is rough. Yeah, let's choose a 7800X 3D. Motherboard, listen to this. Motherboard has been updated to an AMD A620. Yo, Cobra type, why are you carrying A series motherboards? A class motherboards. Those are not for gaming PCs, all right? The only choices are A620 or X670. Do they not know about B650? That's like the go-to for a gaming PC. But at least it's only $6 to $7 more to get X670. Never choose the A-class board, guys. Not unless you're building an office PC or something for your grandma to check her emails, okay? Way too limited. DDR5 4800. What options we got here? Doesn't have... Okay, so the Corsair Vengeance doesn't have a frequency. It operates in a way that no one can comprehend. Now let's check the info here. 6,000. Okay. 2x16, 6,000. Okay. But how do we know that this is Expo memory? Did it say so? At least it has captivating RGB lighting. Who's still captivated by RGB? I'm sorry, I'm being overly critical here. These guys could be awesome. I feel bad that their stock seems to mostly be Intel. But then again, Intel has a wider range of CPUs. Well, we don't know if we're getting Expo memory profiles. But hey, it's up to them to support it. And at least the frequency is good. Actually, let me check that because I didn't check it on the regular Vengeance. DDR5 6000. Yeah, there you go. All right, we're good there. Okay, yeah, no X670E, no B650 or B650E, just A-class or X-class motherboards. Sure thing, guys. The right Peerless Assassin is nice. What is that, an Enermax cooler? NHU12S. You can't go. Oh, it's because of the case. Let's change the case. Oh no, it's a 4000D is 240 max. So, maybe go with the HAF 500. It's a good case. I like the large front fans. So then we go with the cooler, and we still can't do a 360 in this case. Okay. Well, I suppose a 240 millimeter will do it, but what do we know about this thing? Oh, can I use the stock Intel cooler on the AMD system? That'd be cool. It's not letting me select it. It's frozen. Their website is frozen. There we go. We got it. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's every time I try to get information on their coolers, they're like, Peerless Assassin's nice though. It's a nice cooler. It can definitely handle a 7800X 3D. I guess we're just leaving it on that. Let's just wait. What's up, Electrothermal? I thought they could do a 280 and 4000D. Well, they have to carry it in order for us to do that. You can do a 280 and a 4000D, but they don't offer it. Dirt Shooter says, how's Mr. Cuddles? Have not seen him in a while. Dirt Shooter, what's up? And that's because Cuddles works very early in the morning now. Yeah, hard to sell Intel PC right now. I can imagine. Yeah. Especially with idiots like me out here talking bad about Intel. Sorry about that. More feet, muscles on top of muscles. Rutu, yeah. That's Liefeld. Is Corporate Commander an Angry Joe reference? I don't know, Crash. I don't know. Oh, as far as 8 core versus 12 core, the difference is 4 cores. C Clay. I go over that in my upcoming video. Just hold off for that. Sailor X, you searched the internet for Obscure's SI just for me. I appreciate that. What's up, Mike? How's it going? Welcome. I'd prefer a liquid cooler with newer Intel versus air cooling. Well, yeah, but yeah, I know. It doesn't like this. If we refresh the page, is it going to lose all the changes I made? Probably. My case fans in my PC are going nuts when I do this. Exit page. Bye-bye. Reload page. Hello. Okay, we're just going to have a Peerless Assassin on the 7800X 3D, but it lost all of our changes. That's cool. That's great. Really shallow case selection here, but I mean, it might not be that big of an SI, so there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's good for logistics to have, and you're just of running a warehouse. If you limit the case selection, and plus there's less. You basically, if you limit your case selection, your builders get really familiar with the cases you have, and it means that you get more consistent builds. You get more consistent cable management, which can lead to easier tech support over the phone, because your tech support representative will know where all the cables are, all that good stuff. I think it's 10 years ago, right, when AMD was near bankruptcy, when Lisa took their garbage took over with the garbage FX series. Yep. More consistent builds going out. Absolutely, Ghost Boner. So the thing is, I'm not sure about the choices that they made with their cases. I mean, they're fine, but a little bit limiting. $35 more for a 4070 Super. Yes, please. You want to see the performance difference? Where did my page go? Here we go. 4070 Super. Really big. It's the same difference in frame rate as between a 4080 Super and a 4090. All right. That's just between the 4070 and 4070 Super. Nuts. For $30, $35. Yeah, okay. So we're doing a 1440p machine. Okay, yeah. So, that's right. They put us on the A620 motherboard, which Cobra Type, stop buying those. Sell those in bulk. Get rid of them. Get B650, please. I need to take this song out of... This isn't my favorite one from the tracks. There we go. Okay. 850 watt, 80 plus gold. What options do we have here? Okay, so you can get a Thermaltake GF1 for $53 more for the same wattage and same 80 plus rating. This is a cheap power supply. Nothing wrong with that necessarily if it's a well-rated one, but we don't know. But they do have a good selection with the GF3. It's a really well-rated power supply. Just look right here. Why not there? Here. Tough Power GF3. Less than or equal to 1200 watts is gold rated. So we can go with the 850 here. $53 to be on the top of the PSU Cultist tier list. Yes, please. One terabyte NVMe versus going from whatever this is. Let's see what the specs are. Yo, shout out Cobra Type for actually putting something behind the little lowercase I button. Thank you. Even if this is just copy pasted from their site or whatever, it doesn't matter. Max sequential read speed is 3500. Sequential write max is 2800. Not bad. But we don't know what brand this is. We don't even... Oh, Gen 4x4. Okay, this might be an NV1 or something equivalent. Probably DRAM-less, but with HMB, it's not too bad. I've gotten some pretty good performance out of that. But if you want to go faster, you go $80 for a Samsung 990 Pro, 1 terabyte. 1 second, please. I'm not going to hate on a company for having any markup, but that might be a bit much. Yeah, let's see. A 1 terabyte 990 Pro, it's a Pro, okay, is $117. Here, you are losing an entire terabyte drive that's probably valued at about 60, 70 bucks. So you have to subtract that or add that to the price of this, okay? So it's because you're losing that. You're not just buying an extra drive here for $80. You're giving up this one and replacing it with this one. So essentially, they're selling you this thing for about 100 and... No, let me see. If we say $80 plus about $65 or so for... Let's see what an NV2 costs. It's $117 for a 990 Pro. A 1 terabyte Kingston NV2 is $59.99, down from $60.99. Wow, big discounts, Newegg. Holy crap. So $60 plus $80, $140. They're not that far off of the price of the 990 Pro. Okay. And besides which, that price of the 990 Pro was marked down from $121.45. So they're about $20 markup. I'll allow that. That's fine. But you're fine with the NV2. It's not bad. But you can get additional storage, and yes, you can get an additional M.2 drive. So that's cool. A 4 terabyte NVMe, probably another NV2 for $253. Not bad. I'm not hating this. I'm not hating on this at all. It's not like you could do worse. You could go to Apex Gaming. All right, this is better. So yeah, these guys are fine, but I don't know how their build quality is like. I don't know what the people who run the place are like. I would want to talk to them before I included them in any kind of stuff. So yeah, but that's not bad. Thank you for the recommendation. $980 seems like it'd be cheaper. It would be Ghost Poner, but the 990 Pro is going to be like basically one of the fastest, probably the fastest PCIe Gen 4 M.2 drive out there. Braythorn, you go way back with Windows XP, lol. I do. I guess you're looking back at the earlier part of the stream, huh? Keeping It Fishy says iron sharpens iron. I like that. That's probably when I was commenting on thanking for keeping me on top of things, or holding me accountable for what I say. What's up, Brent Brown? Welcome. How are you? When can we expect the first episode of Pre-Built Rebuilt? Well, family medical issues came up, putting production a little bit behind. It was set for September 1st. I don't think I'm going to make it with that, but sometime in September. If I can still make September 1st, I will, but with an unboxing stream coming up, that totally... Like, I could clean this room out 100%, and then I do an unboxing or a build stream, and it's just a crazy mess after that. So it's hard to say. But the current plan was for September 1st. Also, I'm still waiting on something from one of the sponsors. But I'm not about to go and like, what am I supposed to do? Get mad at LTT? No, I'm not. They're awesome. And they're trying to sponsor a lot of smaller content creators, so they got a lot on their plate right now. Keeping It Fishy says, I'm going to do another form next stream. Have one for you to look at, but want to see if you can configure something better for the same price. Maybe. If it's better and a little more expensive, it's still better. You know what I mean? But I can do it. I'll do what I can. When something's pre-configured, there's usually a reason for that. Maybe they got some parts for a good price, things like that. You know, it's hard to say. It depends on which system integrator it is. Oh, Rogers, I'm sorry I didn't see earlier, but welcome. I'm doing okay. Sinbleed, welcome as well. Do you recommend... I read your earlier one about AMD. Do you recommend Intel's 12 series or Intel Arrow Lake if customer wants Intel for end of this year? I don't know what Arrow Lake is going to be like. I mean, Intel can really do some crazy stuff when they do a new platform, so that remains to be seen. I can't recommend something if I know nothing about it beyond rumors. As for 12th gen is fine, but you'll get better performance out of 7000 series Ryzen. If you feel like you have to get Intel, don't feel like you have to get Intel. You don't. You don't owe any loyalty to any one brand because they don't owe you any loyalty, right? You get whatever's best at the time. I am probably going to be selling a system that has a 12900K and a 3070 Ti in it. If anybody would be interested in that, that would be a system that'd be great for video editing, photo editing, any kind of content creation work, any kind of productivity. It's going to be really solid. I could probably change the GPU to a different one, but I have a 3070 Ti and I should probably do something with it. Be loyal to your wallet, Rurutu says, and I have to agree. But yeah, if anybody's interested in the Corsair system for 900, please let me know. It's 900 with shipping, not with shipping, plus shipping, whatever the shipping is going to be. It has all the original boxes. It is custom built by me. It's brand new. That stream is up. You guys want to watch that so you can see the system itself. I do need to sell this thing quick, and it is currently on the market locally here, but you guys can, if you don't mind paying shipping for it, with all the boxes, all the part boxes, everything, all that stuff. Brand new. and tested live on stream, just let me know. I would say you can email me at bray@brayathorn.tech, which is listed on my YouTube channel, or you can whisper me on Twitch if you're interested in that system. And, you know, serious inquiries, please. Let me know how much. Okay, are you talking about the 12900K one? Yeah, that's one I was talking about where Vaz22, you can't post links in chat. You'd have to DM me the link and I'd have to approve it. And also, you should also talk otherwise other than just posting links, because other than saying ugh. Oh, wait, no, that was somebody else. Just sorry to put you on the spot. What were the specs? I missed it. Sorry. 12400F, 4060, 16 gigs DDR4, 30. I had it right here. It's this. It's a $1,000 build kit from Corsair that I built by hand, live on stream, and I'm selling it for $900. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal. If you built it yourself, you would save money. There's no mystery there. We all know that. But these are the specs: 12400F in the Corsair 4000D Airflow with a RTX 4060. Which 4060 is it? I can't spin this around right now. Oh, there that goes. Okay. It's an Asus dual fan RTX 4060 B760-P Wi-Fi motherboard. Corsair Vengeance 16 gigs DDR4 3200. It has the Intel air cooler. I tested Cinebench R23. I tested Furmark. Temperatures were awesome in here. It has the stock fans that come with the 4000D airflow case. If you guys wanted me to do something like adding RGB fans, adding storage, anything like that, it would just cost extra, and I can do that. Let me see here. That's the system right there. It is a non-RGB, blacked out 1080p gaming machine. And I kind of went nutso on the cable management. Made it super clean. There you go. I even pre-ran power and SATA cable for power and data for SATA SSD. And this little piece of plastic down here, this is actually the little baggie for the screws that go into the SSD. They're right there taped, or they're like zip tied to those cables so that you have everything you need to immediately add an SSD if you want to. These are just the kind of things I like to do when I build a PC for somebody. Power supply is the CX550M. That was one of my gripes. I wish they'd put a higher wattage power supply, but it's plenty for the system itself as it is. Yes, that is Krillin dabbing in the background. He's incorrigible, okay? But yeah, it's a good looking system. For someone's first PC, for whatever, I can also add a 32 gig kit of RAM if you want to stream. The IO is not bad on this. Let me show you. The motherboard's actually pretty nice. I can add in more USB ports if need be with a PCIe card, that kind of stuff. I can do all that stuff. IO's not bad. 6 USB Type A's, 2 of them are fast, 1 Type C as well, 2.5 gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 6 or 6E. I think it's 6E. Yeah. Bray built it, so you know the quality. I built it and tested. It's shipping on a PC more than $100. It was a jest. Okay, sorry, Vaz. You understand why I can't just allow links to be posted in chat, right? Like, there are spammers, and I don't like those. Every time I get one of those best viewers on blank, they put a link, and I don't want anybody accidentally clicking that, okay? So the one thing though, the caveat is I'm not a system integrator. I don't have 24/7 customer support. If that's something you need, then buy from an SI. You know, I recommend them all the time. But this is just, I need to move this. I need to sell this. I don't need this system. It was fun building it. I wanted to evaluate the build kit, but I think it came out awesome. So yeah, it's a great gaming PC. If you want more IO, I literally have cards like this just ready to go where I can add more USB to the system in case you want to stream with it. 6 cores, 12 threads on the CPU, 12400F. Does not have the iGPU in it, which wouldn't be my preference normally, but that's just how they package it. But yeah, it's a $1,000 kit. You get the whole build all done for you for $900 plus shipping. There you go. Well, I guess, I don't know. Let me see. Let's go back over here. Oops, didn't mean to be zoomed in. Hi. Okay. That's interesting. So there's new collaborate thing on Twitch where I can basically knock on someone's stream to start a collaboration with them. That's kind of crazy. I kind of want to raid. What is Emmett doing? What is this? Why is there a word game happening? Is he on a break or something? Oh, there he is. He's coming back. All right. Okay, looks like Emmett is doing some Super Metroid map rando races. Let's go ahead and jump over there. I guess we're going to call it here because I don't think anyone else has submitted a form. So, yeah, no one else submitted a form. Okay, guys, that'll be it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and if you want to join the... Okay. As soon as I mention raid, everyone drops out. The whole concept of a raid is to stay for the raid. Why do you guys keep doing that? I want to, you know, bring the party over to somebody else. We went from 27 to 22 on Twitch. How many we got on 27 on YouTube right now? If YouTube viewers want to jump over to Twitch, I'd like to raid somebody. So please do so. Maybe we'll raid somebody else. Let's raid Blondie. Yeah, we'll raid Blondie. Okay, guys. We're gonna raid Blondie but Geeky. If you watch Roby streams, you know this. Rarutu, no clues, please. I see you in Blondie's chat. Don't give up the game, please. But let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys. I want to do that before the ad comes back. So, yeah. If you want to jump in, it says 28 for me still. Thank you, Igor. I appreciate you. And good. You'll be here for the raid with Blondie. That'd be awesome. And Dodger just dropped to 26. That's okay. It's we're going to raid Blondie, and it'll be fun. Yeah, Blondie is a mod. Yes. Cherokee Vapors, what's up? Awesome show as usual. Lots learned. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, she's Roby's mod. Well, she's also modding here now and then. So there you go. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Keep an eye out for the new video coming up really soon, talking about CPUs and getting back to regular SI Weekly stuff after that. And yeah, I'll see y'all on Thursday. Thank you very much thank you for the patience with me missing Sunday stream. But that'll be it for this one. And until the next one, take care.
Let's go, nerds!